But before we start the game, though, can we appreciate the fact that we totally could have rolled a die to figure out if I was going to order something,
You know, I
but
I
heard you
did.
instead we
guys.
flipped a coin.
I heard you guys
I
talking
did
about
roll a
that,
die.
and I was like, why didn't they just roll some? I'm pretty sure there's a
We
coin
did
flip
roll a die.
thing in roll 20, anyways.
I rolled a D2 for you.
Also,
I
started
noticed
the-
the D2.
By the way, I started the recording on that statement. They're like, this video is gonna open with you saying that, and there'll be no
Good.
context, and I don't think we should give context.
Nope.
Context to what? I forget. What's going on?
I-
Where am I?
Talking.
Nope.
Okay, but then we also need to mention the 420 D69 again.
We don't need to talk about that.
Nah, we don't
they
need to
can
talk
see
about
it
that.
on screen. Look, I'll
Oh,
scroll
you're
up. They
recording
can-
screen too?
Yeah, they can see it. It's fine.
Okay.
They
Alright.
can ask if whoever is viewing this in the future is curious and they weren't here for it, they can ask. It's fine.
And we will not have an answer because
Yeah,
we
I'm-
will have forgotten.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
we're not gonna tell them. I just said they can ask. I didn't say they'll get an answer.
It is a
They can always
mystery.
ask.
It's a mystery that
The
I don't even
answer
know
is
what's going on.
24.
So,
The answer's 32.
with that, everybody ready?
Yes. Let's see.
Ready.
Wait,
There it is. Music coming in? Yeah, it is. Last time on the World of Titan, Ruz the Gorgon Fighter, Kettle the Tabaxi Druid, Dustu the Turtle Bard, and Oroma the Kobold Monk returned to the capital after a lengthy time away. The party returned to their tavern to discover that a forge had been installed for them by their guild's contractor Aurelio von Trell, which was paid for by Adric Goldhammer, whose mine the party had secured earlier in the week. After getting the tour of the new crafting station, the party reunited with their friend Barbas and had him identify some items for them. They then went to meet with Harkin to inform him on the results of their recent mission, and after paying the party for their efforts, he offered them a different job, an escort mission of sorts, where they were to escort Ciel to an upcoming political summit in a week's time. After introducing Harkin to the two new friends, the party accepted this offer, agreeing to return in 6 days to go over the details. That is where we left off. So, you had been given the names of... You were informed that you are going to need to get proper attire for this event, but that the government will pay for you. You were informed by Rachel, Harkin's secretary, that there are currently 2 clothing shops in the capital. There is a Stitch Above, run by one Lalic Brightfeather, and then there is Nothing as Dull as Safe, You Hideous Fool, Now Get Out of My Building, a clothing shop run by Reld Pigstitcher. She also informs you, just because she thinks you might be interested, that there is also a new magic shop that has opened recently. Elettri's Eartifice, owned by Elettri Runehorn. And that leaves it to...
I hope she has a horn.
Oh, leaves it to you guys. Where do you want to go?
I don't know about y'all, but I want to hit up that magic shop.
Yeah, same.
I
Tetsuo
want
wants
to
to see
go
what they
at
have shiny.
There's no such thing as dull, you fool shop.
Teto supports this.
Well, so that's what you want to do for the clothing shop. Do you want to do the magic shop first, or do you want to do the clothing shop first?
Someone flip a coin.
I'll flip my dime again.
What's a dime?
I will roll.
It's tails.
Okay, we're gonna go with that. I'm not gonna roll.
We
What
didn't
does that-
establish what that meant.
Yeah. It was just for him. You wanted to know.
Let's go to the magic shop first so I can decide what kind of weird thing I'm looking for.
Ruz gives a nod. Because this was me that was doing it, not Ruz. Ruz doesn't... I don't think Ruz would understand flipping a coin quite so well until explained.
Oh my
It's also
god.
true.
Figured out what I wanted.
So,
Gesundheit.
you guys, Rachel gives you directions to both of the clothing shops and the magic shop, so you find it pretty quickly. It's this a relatively small building over towards the mercantile side of town by the other shops and the near the docks. The building is clearly worn from the years. The paint has all worn off from the sea breeze. There's a sign. There's a newer looking sign. He definitely looks newer than the rest of the shop. Hung that says "Electricity Artifice" at the top of it, and it looks like one side is big. A paint job has begun on one side of the building, but has not been finished yet.
Ruz looks at the building, trying to get a read on it, but unable to as of yet.
Yeah, it looks like someone just moved in recently. Like they're still making the building their own.
Yeah, like I said, can't get any deeper than just that. So Rose is just standing there, head slightly tilted.
I will say the sign is the letters of it are very, for one, they're very wavy, kind of curly letters. The specific like font style, and they are the core of them is like a kind of light, kind of like pinkish color, and then there's a dark blue border around them. And it's a very well painted sign.
Okay.
You guys, I assume, head in the door.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Right, I thought we were just
Doors.
gonna stand outside. All right, yes.
As you head in,
We
you
going.
see the general layout of the shop. There's the first initial room that you enter in. On the
We're in the clothing shop, right?
no, this
Magic
is the magic
shop.
shop.
You're in the magic shop. Okay, gotcha.
On the right-hand wall, there is a staircase that kind of goes up to like all the way to the back wall, and then turns 90 degrees and goes up the other side. And then there's kind of like a squared off cut out of the wall that's like a higher part of the ceiling, so that it kind of forms a square with that staircase. The staircase is roped off with a sign that says "Do not enter." And then next to the staircase is a counter that looks like it was probably put in later, that goes across the other half of the shop. And there's a ladder behind the counter that kind of goes up into that kind of higher section of the ceiling. And you cannot see who or if anyone is on top of the ladder.
So just eyeballing it around. What sort of items are in here?
You don't actually see a couple of displays that aren't filled yet. And some look like they are still being cleaned and set up. You don't see any items immediately in the vicinity.
Okay.
It definitely looks like it's still
Kettle.
being moved into.
Keto looks for anything shiny.
Give me an investigation check.
Whose fan is on?
I think that might be Vicky's.
It's hot
Oh.
outside. Trust me.
Yeah.
It is very. Oh shit!
It's pain for me to have to turn my fan off every time I use my mic.
Wait, on the bright side, you can't technically crit fail on skill checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still a
one is still
one.
about as bad as you
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah.
So, how bad are Kettle's eyes?
Luckily, there is not a lot to be seen to begin with, as there's not a lot of merchandise put out. You do see a little bell on the counter, a little ring bell, like ring for service.
Kettle wants to buy the bell.
You want to? Is it magical?
No, it looks like one of those like ring for service bells.
Kettle does not care if it is magical, it is shiny.
Kettle, maybe you should give it a try to make sure it's worth it.
Kettle very delicately, with a single claw, rings the bell.
All right. And you hear someone talking atop the ladder. Oh, sorry, is someone there? Give me a second, I'll get right. And then you see the ladder wobble a little bit, and then whew, a blur of motion as someone falls from the ladder, but not a thud of anyone hitting the ground. There's no thudding sound, as they just kind of fall to the ground, but seemingly stop before they hit it, and then stand back up, dusting themselves off. You see a tiefling woman, with very soft pink skin, kind of like cotton candy pink. And then she has very light sky blue hair that comes down back behind her horns, and then two kind of curled ram-like horns that have blue runes etched all over them. And she is wearing...
You are so pretty!
She is wearing these kind of very kind of flowy robes that are kind of this soft, kind of similar to her hair, kind of like sky blue, with little pink details on it. She stands back up. Oh, sorry about that. Customers. There's your customers here. I have customers. How can I help you?
Ruz raises sort of like a finger up, as if to ask a question.
Yes. What do you need? So you're my first customers. I just...
Ruz puts down the finger because that was the question that was going to be asked.
Oh.
Ruz gives a thumbs up.
Okay.
Kettle thinks you are very pretty. She's very excited you are in town.
Ruz gives a nod.
Thank you. I think you're very pretty too. Were you... How can I... Do you need... How can I help you?
Why would they call Kettle pretty? We are shedding.
But you are pretty, Kettle.
As you speak up, Aroma, you are a little shorter than the counter actually is, and she's now seeing you for the first time. She looks over the counter to see you. Oh my god, you're so small, I love you! That was inappropriate.
You!
So sorry, that was inappropriate. I didn't mean like, because you're small and cute, it's not... I'm sorry.
Dusty,
I'm
To the counter and just give them a giant hug.
Oh my god, I love this!
Well, that's nice.
And then sniff some real weird.
It's a little weird, but okay.
Is it at least enjoyable?
What do they smell like?
They smell like cotton candy, actually. They both look and smell like cotton candy.
Prestidigitation at work, at least.
No, it's a cotton candy elemental.
She's a tiefling.
Don't give him ideas.
She's a tiefling, but her demon blood was from a cotton candy demon.
Yes.
You fools! Next
Like
episode, we're finding a
like-
cotton candy demon.
Like in that one Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah.
Dusty was gonna do something.
No, Dusty was just chuckling at this whole thing. That's it.
Yeah, so the Aroma's gonna hop down, say, you should have more confidence in yourself.
I like to think I'm very, very confident. Just a little. I'm new here, so I don't really know people. I'm a little nervous.
Same.
First customers, big shop, taking a big chance coming out here.
You have already been incredibly helpful. You answered my question before I even asked it. Ruz
So
gives a
what was
supportive nod.
Okay, I don't know what the question was, but okay.
I was going to ask if we were your first
who blew up?
customers. I am overjoyed.
Okay, well,
Ruz is saying this in that deadpan tone.
We lost Dave.
No.
her Discord might have frozen. She'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Gotcha.
She can always watch the VOD if she really is curious what happened when she was gone. Are you looking for anything specific while you're here?
No, not really, considering your shop is pretty new.
Oh, yes, so since I had all this wall space up there, I figured I'd put the cabinets and displays up there, so I could have a whole wall of displays. And she's pointing to the area, like that like kind of raised up part of the ceiling that you cannot see from that side of the counter.
Rose is looking up and trying to get a better look.
Do you need
Is it just
you
something I
can't.
can't do?
No, you.
Is it because
you
is it
can't-
because we're too short, or is it because of the angle?
It's because of the angle. These walls are angled away from the counter, so it's physically impossible for anyone on that side of the counter to see these items. And as you're kind of like straining to look, she's like, "Oh, you can't. That's not a good place to put those. I didn't think of that.
That's okay.
I will move them.
it's
I will
okay.
put them somewhere else. Maybe I'll do, like,
Rose gives a
some
nod.
paintings
We're
there
glad
or
we can
something.
provide. We're
you
glad
mind-
we can be supportive.
Are they
Yeah,
actually
it's-
displayed back there? Like right now?
So it looks like she's currently hanging up the cabinet sections that they will be displayed in. They're not displayed there.
Oh,
yet.
okay, they're not there yet.
I
Well,
do
a little-
have some items. I'm a little sparse because I'm just moving in, but I do have some items back here. I can show off if you're curious of anything.
Yes,
or
please.
if you're looking for
Little-
something
little
specific,
tip.
you can let me know.
Little tip, if we can't see what's up there, maybe you should put some premium or very special items up there for people who know what they want. Just saying.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Thank you. That's a good idea.
Because that
Yeah.
way
That way I
it's
don't have
out
to
of
take those
sight.
cabinets down.
Well, yeah, and then also out of sight, out of mind, so people who are coming in to potentially, I don't know, steal something, if they want to try that, wouldn't see some of your most valuable items.
Rose gives a nod. Yeah, indeed. If
I
we
like that
were
idea.
more shifty.
Well,
Yes.
so I should welcome you. Welcome to Eltree's Artifice. I am Eltree. It's really Artifice, but I wanted an alliterative name, so I added an E, so it'd be alliterative. Still workshopping the name a little bit. Is there anything specific you're looking for?
I don't really know exactly what you got, so
I can,
mean,
Yeah.
I can show you a couple of things. Ooh, here's, this is one of my favorites. And she kind of reaches on the counter and pulls out a big old book. It's about, by the way, hon, your order has been picked up and is on the way. The book is probably about 1 foot by 1.5 feet, in size. And she places it on the counter. Big kind of leather-bound book. She opens it up. She says, "Do you have like a dagger or like anything kind of like small
I
that
pull
would
a
fit on a
dagger.
page?"
Immediately at the request, there's a dagger outstretched.
Okay. And you see a blank page in front of you, and she pushes the book toward you. She goes, "Just place the dagger on the page and close the book."
Rose puts it flat on the page and then closes the book.
All right. Now open it back up.
Rose opens it up at the same location.
You see the dagger is still on that page, but it is no longer 3D. It now looks
It's
like
an illustration.
illustration of a dagger. But it still looks exactly the same. It just looks like it's on the page now. And
Rose is going to kind of like move the page a little bit to see if there's like still that luster to the dagger.
There is not anymore. You see the luster on there, but it is like it was painted on there.
Right.
It just kind of looks like that same dagger, just now as like a painted illustration. And as you actually flip open the page, you see the other side of the dagger there too. Here's so this helps for storing smaller things that you can fit on the page. I call it a chest of 100 pages. But there's an additional benefit, and she hands you a marker. Just kind of draw anything on the dagger itself that you want to appear on the dagger.
Ruz is going to try and do some sort of like just a squiggly line. Keep it simple for now.
Just a little squiggly line. After you do that, she rips the page off, She kind of grabs a candle from the side, it's lit, and she kind of holds the candle, or holds up the page like in front of you guys, and just kind of brings the candle to it. As the flame touches the page, all the paper burns away except for the part that was the dagger, and then the dagger falls to the counter. A physical dagger once again, but with that squiggly mark still on it.
Ruz takes the dagger, kind of feels it, and tries to rub the squiggly mark out. Intrigued.
It feels exactly the same, but that squiggly mark will not rub out. It's just the material that squiggly mark covers is just now that color. It's not like a stain or anything on it. It's just that material is now that color.
You just dyed your weapon.
Indeed. And I find that super interesting. Weapons.
I
of
love
age.
that.
And this does not work.
So now we're all gonna have magical outfits.
And this does not work based off of like pocket dimensions, so this can safely go inside bags of holding or portable holes. Hun, your order was dropped off.
Oh! Oh god.
What's
Okay,
up?
back. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
So yeah, you can safely fit this in portable
Go get
holes
food.
or bags of holding, anything like that, and you can. There are 100 pages. They don't come back, unfortunately. So after you've used all 100 pages, it's done. But they can fit any small objects. You can use them to customize things, and you can use them to hide things. And burning them with any kind of flame will return them to how they were.
Ruz tilts the head slightly, so this one has 99 pages now.
Actually, this one's closer to about 86. This is my personal one that I use.
Ruz
I
nods.
have a fresh one for sale. I only have one of these, so if any of you are interested in, if all of you are interested in it, you'll have to fight amongst. Please don't actually fight in here. I'm still working on cleaning it up, but
How does this work with organic material?
well, it works fine I wouldn't do it with anything living. You would kill it in the process if you did it with something living, but like if you did it with like a leather boot or like a wooden knife or something, it'd be just fine.
And what if something's too big? Does it just simply not fit into the page?
It has to fit on the page, unfortunately. Which you can do multiple things on a page as long as it all fits on the page. But if any of it is not within the book when the book is closed, none of it will go in.
What are the mechanics of that functioning with, say, a magical spell to cause something to shrink to the appropriate size?
I've not tried it before. Well, my guess would be one of two things would happen. When the spell fades, it would tear itself out of the page. Or, when the spell fades, it would remain in the page, but the moment the page is burned, it would return to regular size. I'm not sure which. I've not tested it.
That sounds incredibly fascinating. Ruz says, This is probably the most excited anyone has seen Ruz, and unfortunately, it's still like completely deadpan.
And
How much is it?
that would be 500 gold for that. I have a few other custom things here. She takes out a dagger. It's kind of like very pale blue dagger. Almost looks like it would be transparent, but it's not actually transparent. It just, when you don't see anything behind it, it would make you think it's transparent kind of deal. Very faint blue. That kind of curves a little bit to like almost like an arrow point at the end of it. I call this Ghosty McStabber.
That sounds like an incredible name.
It is. Thank you. It is a custom job. I made it myself. It is 800 gold. Where is Eltry? There it is. Ghosty McStabber. So this it does require attunement, but when you make a ranged attack roll with this weapon, you may speak a command word to have it become kind of like ethereal, and then it will pass through anything on the way to the creature you were intending to attack. If it passes through other creatures, it'll damage them a little bit, deal some psychic damage to them, and it'll also deal psychic damage to the creature you hit. It can also be thrown through walls, through shields. It'll pass through that just fine.
Can it will
Interesting.
I got a question about.
So in theory, this is going to go through anyone's armor.
In theory. What was your question, Rose?
Dust do first.
It's about the book. If I've got some food and I put it in there, would the food keep or will it age?
It should keep. So the way it works is it kind of renders it to, basically it saves the information of the item that it is at the time it goes in. So it should keep just fine, and then when you take it out, it'll be just as fresh as when it went in. I actually used to, back when I was in college, I would, this was one of the first new enchantments I made myself. I would put meals in the page and seal it up, and then I'd make one book that was just my meals for that month, and I'd rip a page out before I went to class, and I'd just, set it on a little plate and burn away it, and then have just my food.
Okay.
So it's
Does
a
it
good way
stay
to use
hot if it goes in hot?
it can't. It'll be room temperature. It can't really save the temperature, just kind of, because it really works more off of the visual information.
So if Kettle has ice cream, and Kettle puts it in book, and 3 days later Kettle takes it out, will ice cream be melted, or can Kettle enjoy her frosty ice cream in peace?
This is a very good question, because is there ice cream in this setting?
It would be.
If there's cotton candy.
There is ice cream.
I was gonna say.
It would be a little warm for ice cream. Like, it wouldn't be like fresh out of fresh out of a cooler kind of deal. But it wouldn't be melted yet. It'd kind of be like just below room temperature kind of deal.
And it would still be made out of ice cream?
Yeah, still be made out of ice cream.
Kettle likes this book.
Rez gives a nod.
Yeah, it can't keep temperatures to extremes, but it can keep the temperature around a normal level.
Question, how big is this book?
It is about 1 foot by 1.5 feet. So it's a good sized book. It's pretty big.
Do you think the Roma is capable of curling up around on a page in a...
I think we've established doing that while feasible would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I was gone for something.
Yeah, it is. She said before, anything living probably would die in the process of actually being merged with the page. But also that besides, even if you could curl up to like a 1 foot area of space, you need to be able to close the cover on top of you. And you would be too big, curled up like that to actually close the cover onto you. Basically, the item needs to be perfectly obscured by the cover when it closes.
Can multiple items be fit to a single page?
Yes, so long as you don't overlap the material of the items at all. That can sometimes cause some funkiness to happen. You might end up with like items weirdly fused together, or like parts of them might end up be missing. It's kind of a weird kind of gray area when you start doing that. So it's best to avoid that if you can.
Rez nods. I did have a question regarding the dagger, but I am curious. You mentioned college. Highgate?
Yes. I my family's actually originally from Highgate, so I studied there for a time, and then when I graduated, I spent a little bit of time, traveling around, spending time with my friends. just getting out of college, wanted to live life for a little bit. And then I decided I wanted to open a shop, so my mom and my dad gave me a little bit of money to move out here, and buy this place and set up shop.
Rose nods. I studied there.
Are you a mage as well?
Rose does the so-so hand, kind of like, sort of.
Well, there's always plenty of time to continue study. It's a constant pursuit, not an end goal.
Rose gives like two consecutive nods. It's the first time that Rose has ever actually been like, "Oh yes, I totally agree."
You you said you had a question about Ghosty McStabber?
Yes. Does the dagger return?
It does not return on its own. You'd have to return it.
Mm.
Or if you had some means of causing it to return to you, like teleporting it back or something like that.
Yes,
If you could summon weapons or something, that should work fine for it. But it doesn't return on its own.
Oh, you could teleport it.
Oh, that'd be nice. Do we have to burn the page to get the item back?
You do.
A page is one use, so.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, Ruz doesn't say that in character, but Ruz is looking at the dagger with like such a intensity. But her eyes occasionally look at the book too.
I do have a few. I have some items that were kind of rejects that I don't feel comfortable selling. But I do have some. Well, she kind of pulls out a little rack of several different daggers of all kinds of different shapes and sizes. These were all items that I tried designing specific enchantments and they didn't come out right. And they're not really useful or safe per se. So I'm not. I mean, if you see one that you like the design of, I can make a similar dagger with a different kind of enchantment, but I don't feel comfortable selling any of these.
Alright. So do you enchant
about
other
trading?
weapons?
I
go on.
have a couple other weapons. I don't do trade much. I'm sorry, but
Gotta make a living somehow.
yeah.
Sorry, trade in town
If
anyway.
you had some rare materials, I might be able to give you a little bit of store credit for sometimes. But these daggers specifically, I don't feel good about
Petal
them
has
being in anyone's
big
hands.
airboats.
I don't
much
know
are
what
you-
that is.
Sell it in a book form.
Wait,
They
you
are
have,
bones
500.
on the there.
out of character, didn't you sell those already?
She gave some of them to Ovland, but she had a couple of them left.
Okay.
I think I have like 3 or 4. Let me
Yeah,
check
you
my
got-
inventory.
You got like 3 or 4.
I am
bones.
pretty sure Barbas made you studs for your armor out of some of them, though.
Offered
Oh,
it.
that is true. He
Yeah,
probably would have
I
used at
remember
least
that
one. He probably would have used all of them for that because you need a lot of studs for.
How much gold is 1 platinum again?
Fine.
Okay,
10
so
gold.
Crystal does not have plague bear bones.
10 gold is 1 platinum.
I do also have a couple other items. I have a breathing bubble, if that's something you have need of. It's not specifically magical, but I do have some adamantine chain shirt, if that's something you're interested in. That's something I acquired from a friend, so I figured I'd throw it in the shop. I've got some beads of force, boots of elvenkind, boots of levitation, a wand of polymorph, robes of glamour. And she kind of grabs a little bowl that she has on the counter and moves it over. And you see there are a number of little copper coins with feathers engraved on them. These are coins of feather falling. They're one use. If you fall more than 10 feet, it'll automatically cast feather fall on you. And then it'll just be a normal coin after that. I have a similar enchantment on my robes. She kind of points back to the ladder that's collapsed over behind her. I'm a little clumsy, so...
I thought that was a very smart spell.
Well, it's this robe. Once a day, it'll cast Featherfall on me if I fall more than 10 feet. So that way, if I don't have it prepared, I fall a lot, so it's helpful to have. But I figured I'd make them as some coins too, if anyone has interest in that.
Some beads of force. That's the thing that
Yeah.
Drayul.
Drayul uses those.
right? Yeah, those are pretty handy.
That was.
She has 10
Yes.
of those. They are all single use, and they are 100 gold apiece.
Oh, yeah. Makes
They're
sense.
very powerful, so
That's
that makes
honestly a really good price for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think Dusty's gonna snag 3 of those.
Okay, you got 3 beads of
Yeah.
force.
Yeah.
Do you
So
have...
I will put those in case anyone else wants those. I'm gonna put those in shared items so that you can all use the same thing for it. If anyone else grabs any.
Do you have anything to improve?
Kettle would like to buy the dagger.
Ghosty McStabber?
Yes.
Okay, you can absolutely take that.
Rose
That's
looks
800
as you
gold?
take the dagger.
How much are you selling the Featherfall coins for?
Those would be 5 gold apiece.
I think.
Is it 800 gold?
800 gold for the dagger.
What's his name again? And points towards Quentin's character.
Barbas.
Barbius was trying to say something, people.
It's,
Oh, thank you, Roma. Thank you. Do you have anything to help with fortitude? Maybe not necessarily defense, but I cast spells quite a bit, and I expect to be getting hit a lot in the field.
So okay, so you're looking for say something to like help with help you maintain concentration on a spell?
In a sense, yes. More specifically, or maybe something that would help with that.
Yes, sorry about that, Maeve. It was 800 gold. I don't have anything on hand, but I could look into enchanting something custom for you if you have an idea. Say like, well, let me think. Let me actually think. So are you looking for just something to give you a bonus to con saves in general, or specifically concentration?
I'd say specifically concentration.
Okay. So, making a custom enchantment is tricky. If it's an enchantment I already know, it's a little bit easier. So, like, if you had a specific example of a already existing magical item you want me to replicate, that's a bit easier for me to do. If you want me to invent something new, I can do that. It'll be a lengthier process. It'll cost a little bit more gold, and I cannot guarantee it will be successful.
Don't you have something like that? Actually, out of character, I have no idea if any of them have anything like that.
Hold on. Yeah.
Sorry, say that again. I was distracted.
Yeah. So
Looking
what
for
you said-
something to help with concentration saves.
Oh, Dusty's kind of like my weapon does, and he's kind of like holding it like this thing.
Handy.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'll be able to replicate your Signalum weapon.
I mean, I don't know, but maybe Harkin could do it.
Well, so roll an Arcana check, both of you.
Yeah, I mean,
can I roll too?
out of character, I know what we're trying to figure out here, but
Do I know what Signalum is?
Can I roll
They've shown it to you before, but I don't think you would have encountered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll an Arcana.
Would we
Arcana
have
roll.
explained what it was?
I don't think you have yet.
No, because
Oh, hey!
you haven't yet.
Okay.
So I'd say Barbas would have gotten this too. Dusty might be a little over your head. So the Signalum weapon basically what it does is it just gives a form for your tertiary soul to inhabit for a bit. Basically, every soul is bound to a secondary soul. And when you're using your signal weapon, you're basically communing with that soul. So the ability it gives you is specific to that soul. So, if you wanted to replicate it, you basically have to clone Dustu's soul and then remove the spare soul on it and then bind that to a weapon, which would be an impossible feat.
Too bad we're not Simic.
I actually knew this out of game. Well, I think Rose knew this in game too. Just
Yeah,
from reading.
But
This was ages ago.
So,
Yeah,
that specific ability, while there might be abilities similar to it, nobody can exactly replicate your Signalum weapon. It
Right.
is as unique as any given person is.
All right. Well,
Rose thinks for a moment before finally saying, "You need a second Dustu."
yeah.
Looks over at Dustu and says,
Would he then be Dustu Do?
No.
"Tristu."
He'd probably have a weird name like
Dustu Dos?
I don't
Dostu?
No,
Dustu!
Dostu.
Rush tilts the head and goes, "If it was a complete, perfect replica, then technically it would still be Dustu."
Yeah, I mean, but I'm
So
one
you
of a kind.
Barbus is going to let them have this conversation and turn back to our lovely smelling friend here. So that's out of the question. So, how much do you think a enchantment like this theoretically would cost to make?
Well, so basically, what I can tell you here is, if you can find something in an existing D&D source that you want her to make that magical item, she can give you a guarantee and an estimate on that in terms of price and amount of time, and if it will be successful or not. As long as it's not like legendary or a relic.
Sure.
If you want her to invent something, it'll be an initial charge of 500 gold for the investment of her researching this.
Okay.
Then there will be an additional charge based on how much work and material actually is required to make it that she cannot give you an estimate of yet. But that will be due when she figures out what she needs to do and completes it. She cannot give you an estimate on time because she doesn't know how involved this is going to be.
She'd have to do like basic research first to even be able to give you an estimate.
Yeah. If you want to, if she can probably narrow down a better time and final price if you know exactly what the ability you want it to be is. So if you can tell me mechanically exactly what you want it to do, she can give you a better estimate. If you want her to make something up and try to figure out what kind of ability would be helpful for you, that's going to be a lot more nebulous.
Okay. It's already very outside my price limit, but I'm going to ask anyway. So what if we say I fail at concentrating on my spell and this magical item helps me keep that concentration?
So above game for this, because we got to talk mechanics. Are you looking for basically something that lets you once a day succeed a concentration check you failed in, or are you looking for something that's going to give you advantage once a day? Or
I would say I would more so want an item that would make me pass once a day a concentration check.
Okay.
If I fail.
You're asking for Adderall.
Yeah, that's a.
I don't have any Adderall.
That sounds like an alchemical property. Maybe
Yeah.
perhaps a herbalism kit.
That would be.
B.O.B.
It would be a pretty hefty enchantment. To let you just. It's basically a more it's a more specific legendary resistance. Is what you're trying to replicate here. So that's not insignificant. At minimum, it's going to be 1,000 gold, including the initial 500. So initial 500, then another 500 on delivery, at minimum.
minimum.
and at minimum 3 weeks. And all of this is with no promise of success and no promise that those numbers don't increase. But you don't have to pay that additional 500 if it fails. If it fails, you just paid that initial 500 for the investment in the research, and then you're scot-free.
All right. Well, Barbas is gonna look and like, well, I'm a little light on cash right now, so it's just theoretical question. So thank you very much. And he's gonna put his hands behind his back and sort of like bow. But as he does so, I'm gonna activate my
What?
ring.
Oh, the one you got from Mr. Bluesky?
Yeah. Correct.
Oh.
And
I'm
in
just
this
curious.
case, it would probably... Although actually...
Is this something that we can see him doing?
Yeah,
Or
is this
something subtle?
No,
I just want to know how
Rose.
Rose reacts.
This would be subtle enough that he could do it sneakily. Roll a stealth check if you want to do it sneakily.
Yeah, or sleight of hand, perhaps.
Sleight
Is
of
this
hand, I'd allow.
Probably both the same modifier.
Yeah.
But- Yeah.
I mean, sleight of hand, I don't think you get a disadvantage on.
And I also want a perception check from you.
For me,
Yes.
I
I'm
would
at least
also like
better
to.
at that.
Oh,
I
You
would.
can do.
I would like to.
You can do a perception
Yeah.
check as well.
Um,
11.
Aroma's on it!
honestly, my head is probably at his hand level. So
Yeah.
It is actually quite funny. So
Yeah, he kind of just tweaks at the ring he's wearing.
Ruz and Aroma both notice you kind of like turn the ring that's on your finger as you bow, and ironically, both of them see this, but you do not. You also notice a slight glow appear from underneath, kind of like underneath the collar of her robe, like something within her robe is glowing now,
Damn.
just subtly.
Rose tilts their head but says nothing, looking confused.
oh, Aroma says
Perplexed?
something. Oh my
Well-
gosh, you glow! How did you make them glow?
Make what?
Barbas
Oh,
is
well,
kind of
no,
looking around the room.
Barbas did the ring, and then their robe started glowing.
Hmm?
So
Yeah. It's not actually the robe herself. It looks like there's something inside, like the kind of like neck chest area of her robe that is glowing.
how
Rose,
did you make them glow?
Rose kind of like gestures in the general area where the glow came from.
She
Uh,
kind of like looks down her
highlight.
shirt. Anyone who wants can roll an insight check. But as she
Sure.
sees what's glowing, she begins to blush. She goes, "Oh, that's so that must be a
Is this-
enchantment malfunctioning."
I don't suppose I could get insight just simply because I succeeded.
Off of who?
Not on the perception, but on the insight. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna
Kettle
roll it
doesn't
too.
read This.
Just
Dust.
because I'm curious, because I know what the ring does. Damn it.
So, Dustu, Aroma, and Aruz can all tell specifically what article of clothing is glowing.
Oh,
And why that would be slightly embarrassing for her.
Wait,
It's her bra.
wait.
Yes.
I'm sorry, out of character, is she wearing a fucking bra of holding?
She might be, and that might be the rare. That might be technically the rarest magical item in this room.
Oh my god.
You did it,
Rose!
We've been
I was
talking
expecting
about a
this to
bra
take-
holding for forever.
I was expecting this to take weeks of you interacting with this character before you guys figured this out.
That is what I said I wanted to do.
Wait, a bra.
I wanted to go in the magic shop and use my ring and see what happens.
A
So,
bra
Rose-
holding.
Above game,
Yes!
above
What?
game,
Did you
Um,
really?
this woman
So
is
she could just put something in
particularly
her bra.
well
It's a bag of
endowed.
holding.
This woman is particularly well
Love it.
endowed to the point where it is painful for her back. So she, being an enchanter, decided to enchant a bra with a pocket dimension inside it, to take some of that weight off her while she was wearing it.
Where can I buy this?
Danny and I have been talking about a prop holding for forever.
I'm not gonna lie.
What enchantment's malfunctioning?
It's just a little enchantment.
Russ?
Okay. Sorry.
Russ
Sorry.
is
I don't want to embarrass you. What does his ring have to do with that?
Ruz kind of
I don't know what you're talking about.
puts a hand on your shoulder, Quentin, and kind of forces you back into that bow position. And
Are
then
you
Ruz is
afraid?
going to say very sternly, apologize. And by very sternly, it's still deadpan.
Barbas is actually still confused.
I'm confused. What's
You-
I'm
Are
sorry.
you
I
noticed
afraid
you were
don't
around.
he
know
makes
what's
people's
going on.
undergarments glow?
What? No, it doesn't. It makes... I'm sorry, I was curious. I wanted to see if you had something interesting in here that I could comment on. I have a ring that makes really powerful magic items glow. So I guess you're wearing something powerful?
I wouldn't say it's powerful per se. I guess more, uncommon?
It's impressive, is all I can say. How about we move on?
She blushes more. At that specific wording.
Ruz is terrible with
Barbas
the
is
wording.
still confused, by the way. He has no idea. He just
I
wants to
know.
know what's glowing.
I know.
He can't see it.
I know. I bet.
He can't see it, and he can't pick up on subtle cues.
I know. This is the best mess.
So she looks at you. So you wanted to buy the dagger, right?
Wait, she bought the dagger already. And points to the kettle.
Yeah, Ruz looks
I
slightly
think I've
more
asked my
glum.
question, and he's gonna look around. I think we're gonna wait outside at this point, and he's going to do so.
Ruz doesn't have the heart to stop him.
If nobody else is, we can buy the book.
Yeah, we could.
Well, you can too.
I only have one copy of it available.
No, we're saying if they want to, then they can buy it. But if nobody else wants to, then we will buy it. And points to themselves.
I mean, I feel like this is a useful item, no matter how you look at it. I'm not really a big spender, but I kind of like the book. So, tell you what, I'll play rock, paper, scissors for it.
Ruz kind of lets out a sigh. I wish I
do you
could
want it,
justify
Ruz?
buying it.
What, Ruz?
I kind of wanted the dagger, but I would also have liked the book.
Wait,
but
hold
Ruz,
on.
get the book then.
Yeah. Get the book.
Ruz lets out a sigh and pulls out the bag of holding. I've already got this.
Aroma hands you 50 platinum. Buy the book.
Ruz doesn't take it. It's not that I can't afford it. It's that I already have.
He already has something that does the same thing.
Not the
The
same
book
thing.
The book can be placed in a bag of holding safely, by the way.
Yes, I did pick up on that. It still fills a similar equipment niche.
Yeah.
And
You
as
also have
much
the
as
efficient quiver, so you got a lot of storage
that
options.
like I said, I've got my storage options up fine. I am like, if anything, there's always the chance of me possibly making a dimensional rift or something if I put the efficient quiver inside the bag of holding.
This is true. I will say, above game, if you want to break down of where it's going to be more useful. Dust2 has the highest strength, so you have a high carrying capacity that Aroma does not necessarily have. Aroma is also an artist, so this might be more she might be able to get a little bit more
Ooh.
use out of this.
Okay.
Not saying that you couldn't obviously.
It doesn't
do
have
as
to be
well if
that
you wanted
way.
it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if it's just
I
you
mean-
guys trying to
just-
figure out
just-
who's better with, that might be the best.
Dusty's kind of ripped. So,
You know what? I kind of want those Featherfall coins. I feel like those are gonna have more better use for in a bind. And so, if they're 5 gold each, I plan on getting a few, so I won't have enough to get.
She
the
has
book.
like 50
so you know
of those
what?
too, so you can
Yeah.
get as many of those as you want.
Yeah. Aroma. I will forfeit the book to you because I think you can
Well-
do better with it.
Well, I mean, we can also share it. If
Let's
we
give-
work it together.
Ruz gives a nod at that.
Okay.
All right. So, can I get? Oh, it is. There's 5 of us. Good.
6.
6.
sorry,
6.
yeah, 5.
Sorry. 5.
But-
Yeah.
No,
so
you're
5.
right. 5.
Okay. Can I get 10 of those Featherfall coins?
How many
That'll
are
be
there
50 gold.
actually?
Yeah.
She's got like 50 of them, so you can get plenty.
I'll
and
take
I-
5 too.
I don't have an item card for those. Those are just if you fall more than 10 feet, they automatically cast Featherfall. It is noted if you have 2 of them on you, they will both go off because they do not detect that you have 2 of them on you.
Oh! Wait!
Okay. So hold on.
Hold on. Ruz
It-
is going to ask.
Okay.
Is it when if they're in a dimensional space, will they still go off?
They wouldn't because they wouldn't detect your falling.
Ruz gives a nod.
So we
There's
put them
put
in
'em-
the book in the bag.
They would still go off if they were in the book because that is not a separate dimensional space.
Oh, okay.
Ruz's eyes go wide. I so want to experiment with that. Out of character, Ruz likes it for no other reason than it's a toy to play with.
It's a gadget.
And that is what... It's a gadget, and Ruz wants to play with it, and Ruz can't justify
So-
taking it because it's a gadget.
So what you're telling me, Dad, is that if I had 10 of those, all 10 of them would go off at the same time if
Yes.
I took a fall.
Because they
Okay,
don't know about each other.
Okay.
Well,
But
then-
if you had
So,
10 of
if-
those and 9 of them are in the bag of holding, only the one that's in your pocket would go off.
And that's what I'm thinking. I can hold on to nine of them.
Sure. Okay. So the whole reason Dustu got 10 was for 2 for each of us. So
yeah, so Ruz holds on to 5.
yeah, and we each get 1. But Dustu's sitting pretty on gold right now, so he doesn't really care.
Okay, so you can get 10 of
So
those, 5 in the
Yeah, I'll
bag.
get 10 of those. So we each have 1.
And like I
What's
said,
the
there's
book called?
no item cards for those. That is called the Chest of 100 Pages.
And it has 100 pages, or does it have like 99 since
It has
they...
100 pages. The one she used was a demo one that she uses for her personal use, so this one is fresh.
Okay.
You will have to keep track of the number of pages you use and what items you put in it.
Oh yeah.
5 of them is 50, right?
They are 5 gold apiece, so 10 of them would be 50.
All right.
Did anyone have interest in any of the other items? Breathing Bubble, Adamantine Armor, Boots of Elvenkind, Wand of Polymorph, Robes of Glamour, Boots of Levitation?
How much is the Boots of Elvenkind?
That would be 400 gold.
Really?
Yeah. It's not an especially unique enchantment. Boots of
Okay.
Elvenkind are relatively common in this world.
That's
What about
out of character. That's still amazing.
what about the levitation boots?
Those are a little bit more expensive. Those would run you
Yeah.
about 600 gold.
Ruz is going to kind of ask, do you have any ideas for items that would help with my speciality. And Rose kind of from the efficient quiver kind of pulls out Lassa Alba.
Alright, your bow.
Yep.
I could maybe make you an unbreakable arrow if that's something you're interested in. Or there are a couple of different types of enchanted arrows, like arrows of slaying if you know you're going against a specific type of creature. So I could make arrows with like an elemental enchantment, so they do a little bit extra damage. Depends on what you're looking for.
Ruz quirks quirks a little bit at the mention of like a unbreakable arrow. What do you mean by unbreakable, exactly?
Oh, it's a relatively common enchantment. It's basically an arrow that's reinforced with magic so that it cannot be broken. It just can't be broken. Stays the way it is no matter what you do to it. Won't bend, it's like a... It won't bend, it won't snap, it won't wear down. Some people like them just because they're tired of of having to buy new arrows all the time when one wears down after use, stuff like that.
I am interested in the potential ability of that.
Rose
kind of says mostly to themselves, because Rose is now starting to think in terms of like, which would break first, a door moving to open very quickly, or the arrow?
Alright, she'll tell you. So that's an existing enchantment I know of. I don't know the price of that offhand. I'm going to have to go back and look up my my reference material.
Of course.
But because I do know that is possible and I can do that, you don't need to pay for any research up front. I will work on enchanting those, and maybe the next time you come by, I'll have those ready for purchase.
Excellent.
Or if there's anything else you know of your specific needs, I can look into that as well. Did anyone else have any specific enchantments they'd like me to look into or stock?
Could you enchant something to help with allergies?
Well, I could make you I could modify a potion of poison resistance that would help alleviate some symptoms. Allergies
if I already had an enchanted ring that helps with allergies, could you make it better?
It's difficult to modify existing enchantments. I could study it and maybe replicate it. I can't promise that I could make it better, especially if it's a unique enchantment. Something that's a little more well known, I could maybe modify, but it's difficult to know because I don't know exactly what the enchantment is, or how it was done, or how it was made, or the process.
Kettle excitedly hands her the ring.
Oh, this is okay. I guess I can look into this. And maybe come back in a week or so. I'll let you know if there's anything I can do.
Kettle is so excited.
Okay. I can't promise I'll be able to do anything, but we'll see.
Kettle's like vibrating, just excited, like one of those dogs.
Well,
except she's a cat.
If that's all you guys had need of, were you going to buy the elven kind of boots, Rose?
Rose nods.
Okay. Well, that's and no one's interested in the adamantine chain shirt?
Wait, where are we?
True. I don't think any of you do. Well, actually, Rose could do medium armor.
I could. I don't know. I don't think I could use all of my dexterity with medium armor is the one issue.
Yeah, you don't be. I think you would ultimately. Well, actually, I think you'd ultimately have a little bit lower AC, but the adamantine crit resistance could offset that if that's something you're interested in.
I think the loss in armor would hit a little bit harder. I honestly think.
Okay.
The crit resistance is. I wish I could have it both ways, but I don't think I can.
Well, so you could get. I mean, you don't use heavy armor, but in theory, someone could get adamantine plate. But adamantine plate would be a lot more expensive than chain shirt.
Oh yeah.
Chain shirt's a relatively inexpensive medium armor option.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there's ever anything else that you need enchanted, or if you're looking for any other magical items, you can feel free to stop by at Eltrizi Artifice. I'll look into those items you requested. And give me a week or two, and I can maybe give you a little bit more information. I might have some of it ready, I might not. We'll see. And Barbas didn't put through that commission, right? Quentin?
No, he doesn't have the money to do that, so he did not.
Okay.
Sorry, I muted myself so I could refrain from commenting on things while I was out of the room.
Yep.
That's fine.
Did we ever go over who got not Dusty's, sorry, Dylan's share?
I do not believe you guys did. So
I think we may want to go over that maybe separately.
Okay. So that magic shop taken care of. Is there any what do you guys want to do next?
Kettle gives Raz the dagger.
Okay. I will move that to
Raz looks. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can pull this off. Ruz is trying so very hard to appear as inflappable as possible and is failing.
Come on, you don't think I wanted a dagger myself, did you? Kettle doesn't like getting too.
I hate to ruin this amazing moment where Ruz is having a moment of like, I can't accept this, but I really want to accept this. But how much did the boots of Elvenkind cost again? I'm sorry.
Those were 400 gold.
Okay. Ruz is gonna just give you 300 of the gold that's left. Just.
Kettle is not taking your gold.
But.
Kettle bought dagger for you. Now take dagger.
Still very much unable to know how to react to this. Ruz accepts the dagger.
Alright, you can now find that.
Good. Kettle is not going to use that.
Yeah, you can now find that in your list of items. There's not a you'll have to make it, or I can, if you want, I can make it for you. An actual bag item for that. And that is a valid. That is an item that you can bind it to with your pact, by the way.
With my weapon bond thing.
Yes.
I figured it was, but I was going to ask.
Yes.
Later.
So that you can do that should you wish.
All right. Ruz is
We're
going to
the weird shop now.
Okay. You guys want to go to the clothing shop next?
Sure.
Yay!
I mean, Dusty's gonna have no use.
Hold on. I think I cut off Ben though.
Oh, what's up?
I think I cut you off.
Who?
You.
I was cut off? I don't remember if I...
Oh, okay. You said Ruz is going to, and then...
Oh, right! Thank you for reminding me. The thought left me as quickly as it came.
I think the thought was gone from you before she even interrupted you. You were stalling a little bit.
Let's stop
possibly.
interrupting him so you can say it.
Wait, what left me? Getting back on track.
Going to...
Ruz is going to look to Dustio and say, "Is it okay if I bond with this at the expense of your javelin?"
Wait, bond with what specifically? The book?
No,
What?
the
dagger?
The dagger.
yes.
Pokemon.
Out of character to remind Dustio.
Yeah. No. You bound the javelin so I could throw it and you could recall it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. No, I know. Dusty's gonna be like, you know what? Sure. I don't really care.
Ruz is overwhelmed with emotion and doesn't know how to process it. And it's all
That's right.
positive for first time.
Are you guys outside at this point?
Yeah, you
Yes.
guys are leaving.
Oh yeah, get outside.
You saw all of
you-
this happening
You saw them,
outside.
like, they walked out of the building and walked like 15 feet down the road without noticing you and just had this exchange.
Ruz is like crying. It's a good
And
time.
like,
Ruz isn't crying, but Ruz is having an emotional moment. It's very interesting. Actually, would Ruz be crying? Hold on, I gotta think about this now. Damn it!
You're welcome.
Not to kill the mood, but what happened? My ring makes magic things glow.
Yeah, you made her bra glow.
They have a magic bra.
Okay, Ruz is actually tearing up a bit.
Oh,
What?
Ruz!
And
Did you have,
I just want to be absolutely clear. No one's seen this much emotion on Ruz's face besides rage. And it's just
Aw.
tears of joy.
Group hug. Hug.
oh, or,
Hug.
Ruz
Hug. And everyone's just like
Ruz
pushing
does not
them on their
resist
leg
the hug, and
to try
instead
to
is
hug them.
Ruz does not resist. Ruz is too overwhelmed to have any
Bob-
sense of propriety.
Barbus lets it happen, but he's still really confused and feels awkward. Okay, we're doing this. Okay.
even Duster. I mean, Duster knows why he's happy, but he's still kind of like,
Barbus is still in the fact that he doesn't understand why she has a magic bra.
Okay.
You're
After
excited to
this
later.
wonderful and wholesome moment, Ruz manages to regain their composure.
To be fair, none of you know what the bra does. You just know that it's magic.
Oh, I know.
Correct. I mean,
Roma
I know.
makes assumptions. Their
Can I make
assumptions are not correct.
Can I make an Arcana check? Actually, I feel
Yeah,
like
I mean, that's not necessarily Arcana to figure out what that is. You just know that it's magic, but an Arcana check wouldn't necessarily get you that with that amount of context.
that's fair.
It's like saying,
I
like,
have-
oh, like you see a random piece of paper, or you see a random like sword, like in a guy's belt, like a couple 100 yards down the road. Can I see if that's magic with an Arcana check? Kind of need to investigate the item.
So I guess it would be more of a Ruz knows it could either be one of a few things,
Yeah.
such as trying to perhaps reduce size or the opposite. But
Yeah, it's hard to narrow it down.
yeah,
It could also be protection.
that's also true. Support.
It could just be that she needs to have multiple enchantments, and each piece of clothing can only hold one enchantment. So maybe all of her clothing's enchanted.
That's true.
There's very
Or if
little
somebody
way you can
tries
narrow it down.
to open it without their consent, it blasts them 100 feet away.
Oh, that's a very useful one.
I mean, It might do that even as it is, depending on what angle they're standing at.
So out of character, there's a way to possibly narrow it down, but it would involve putting her in the bag of holding. And it would be terrible. I am in no way leveraging support for this plan. I am just...
Hey.
This is the gremlin part of my brain going, we could do this, yes!
So, are you guys going to the clothing shop, or?
Yes, to the
Yeah.
clothing shop.
Okay, you get there pretty quickly. It's very immediately apparent. This is a very peculiar shop. The entire outside of it is painted with, like, just abstract shapes and colors. There's no signage in any language whatsoever. The windows are all, like, tinted windows, but tinted random-ass colors. Like, it stands out a lot and is a very weird-looking building.
I love this place. Danny, can we build our house like this?
Absolutely. As you enter, you see, whereas some clothing shops you might see different outfits hung up or sketches on the walls, you just see reams and reams of different fabrics and materials, barrels of like buttons and spools of thread, just ceiling to wall, a full maze of just different clothing materials to work from.
What color are the walls?
You cannot see the walls, as the walls are all covered in many more reams of fabric.
I love this place.
Of all different colors, sizes,
Wait.
cuts.
Did we go inside? Is that,
This is the inside of the building.
Okay.
Is this the place with the really long, absurd name?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Please recite it to me once more.
Actually, put it in the chat so I can,
This is...
Remember
There's
No,
nothing
this-
as dull as safe, you hideous fool. Now get out of my building.
By Reld Pigstitcher.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, they are-
Danny, I took note.
Are they saying safe in referring to the name?
I
guess we'll have to figure that out.
am so glad you wrote it because there were so many words to that to the name of it that it was killing me.
I mean, after the gnome places I've sent you guys to, this isn't that weird. The gnomes had way longer names.
Oh, you're not wrong.
As you enter and looking about, you don't immediately see the proprietor in front of you. As this place is kind of just a general maze of a building with fabrics all over even like some areas of the floor have like fabrics kind of piled up of like fabrics like kind of coming off the reams a little bit. It is a very messy, chaotic place. Relatively comfortable, just because there's so much material and cloth to walk around in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you call out at all, or are you just gonna look around? For
Yes.
Russ is
Hello.
looking around as Aroma says that.
As you call out, you see coming around the corner a red-skinned hobgoblin individual with their hair kind of done up in a little tight bun, and they are wearing a dress. Well, kind of a dress. The back half of it is a dress, but then the front half is like, so it's got like the trail of a dress, but then the front half is more of like short shorts, with like a kind of, and then the back half trail kind of comes up into and forms the rest of the outfit, and it is a peacock pattern dress.
Oh my god, I love that.
And they stand a little shorter than most of you, about 5'8", 5'9", and they are walking in your direction. Yes, and they are walking in your direction with bundles of cloth under their arm. Yes, did you have need of me? Oh, so it's not the voice. I had a specific voice for this. Yes,
that the
darling, did you have
voice?
need of me?
Give me a bit.
Love this place.
She looks. They look you guys up and down. Yes, I do believe you have need of my services. How dreadfully drab you're all dressed.
Do they say that to Aroma?
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
Barbus looks down at his blacksmith apron he is still wearing.
Rose looks down at their very plain and very clearly, probably not, while clean, still has the occasional, like, blood stain that hasn't been able to get cleaned out.
Does Stu just kind of look... Does Stu look at his kilt?
She looks at Aroma and is like... Or is it? They look at Aroma. You're at the very least dressed... coordinatedly.
These are the monk robes given to us. It's the uniform. You should see our home style.
Well, at the very least, you could personalize it a little bit. Give it some personality.
That is not what uniform is.
I've always hated monasteries. Everyone dressed in the same outfit all the time. It's boring.
It is.
Variety is
We
the spice
agree.
of life. What are you all here for?
We want good, fancy clothes.
Why do we need the clothes again?
We'll be meeting with some very powerful people and need, as you have said, much better attire.
Well, you've certainly come to the right place, as they throw the bundles of like cloth over their shoulder, take out a notepad. And what kind of, who of you is looking for an outfit, or are all of you looking for an outfit?
I mean, I've kind of really never had to wear anything other than this kilt, so I don't really know.
The answer is all.
I've worn this,
like
and... Oh, go ahead.
She kind of looks at you, Dusty, with the bagpipes coming out of your shell. She's like, you'll be a challenge to fit for, but not one I'm unaccustomed to.
Cool.
Alright, who's first?
I like how it's been done before.
Who's first, and when do you need these by?
A week.
Oh, when did we say we're leaving? Yeah, a week, yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah, a week, give or take.
A week. I have these, gesturing to the traveling clothes, which is very, very pragmatic, and, well, clean, very, very messed up, and tousled. I've also worn these, and...
5 outfits in a week? Darlings, you've got to be kidding me. I'd have to rush the order, and I never do something like that. Every single piece I make must be of the utmost quality. Rushing it in a week, I'd have to skip steps.
How many could you do in a week?
I could probably get 5 done in a week, but I'd have to devote all of my time to that, and no offense, but I don't know any of you.
This
is...
to think of.
Rose, who are we going to the mission for? Kettle forgets.
It's Hawken.
Hawken?
And I think it's, it's for the, Dan, can you remind me of the exact event? I know we're basically escorting a dignitary.
It is the Amber Peak Summit. It is it is the most significant political event. It's basically like a UN Council meeting, but
yep.
When the UN Council is 4 members that control the entire world.
Yep.
So it's very significant.
It's for the Amber Pink.
Okay, but what if we make something really fun for you to make, or we design something really fun for you to make, and you're super inspired by it? Would you be interested in doing the other work too?
I think if they know about the event, they would be very interested in this.
I will let one person in the party make a persuasion check, and you gotta tell me which aspect of this you're specifically leveraging. Are you trying to leverage the fact that this is a big event where there's gonna be a lot of people, or the fact that it's gonna be fun work?
Big event.
So persuasion's kind of my thing, and I kind of have an idea of what I want to say.
Okay.
Go for it.
You do it.
Sorry. What was your name again?
My name is Reld Pigstitcha. I suggest you remember it.
I'm sorry, you cut out. I didn't hear the first name.
My name is Reld Pigstitcha.
Rail,
I suggest you
imagine
remember
this.
it, darling.
Imagine this. Right, we all go to the Amber Peak Summit. They can't stop staring at us. They eventually wonder who made us these magnificent robes. And we'd send them right to your shop. Think of this as a business opportunity. You suddenly have members from all 4 great nations lining up at your door.
Persuasion check with advantage.
You play to the ego.
Mm-hmm.
It's both that
24!
and they are also from Ironwill.
Yes.
And you'll make sure everybody is aware of who you're wearing.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you always credit the artist.
Well, that would certainly show those fools back home.
Rose looks completely lost.
Very well, I'll consider it, but only if your outfits... I have to be inspired for your outfit, so I'm not going to make anything boring. Everything I make is going to be of the utmost quality and very, very flashy.
Yeah.
If you're okay with this, and you're okay with letting everybody know who you're wearing, I'll agree to this.
Yes.
Kettle likes glitter.
Rose is, tilts their head a little bit. Very unsure about this.
Very well, who's first?
Dusty kind of lifts. Dusty kind of lifts.
Kettle
his finger.
runs to the front.
Okay.
Like, Dusty goes to put their hand as Kettle runs in front of him.
Kettle would.
Very
Yes.
Yes, great character.
Very
Yes.
well. What are we thinking, darling? What are we looking at for you? Give me some verbs, some adjectives. Give me something to work on.
Ooh, Kettle likes shiny things, and Kettle needs to be able to fight. What was that?
Okay, so movement is important. Okay, that changes things a bit. Would you be
And
more
shiny.
comfortable in a suit or dress?
Dealer's choice.
Alright, we'll go with a suit.
Okay.
You want shiny?
Yes.
And from your garb, you seem to be energetic, very colorful.
Yes. Kettle is very loud.
You stand out because you are stood against the very drab backdrop of the ordinary world, and so the sparkle within you shows brighter for it. For that, I think we should go with something. The primary colors will go a little bit subtler so that the shining aspect of it really stands out. How do you think of this? We'll go for a deep forest green 3-piece suit with a golden trim and buttons of the most brilliant shining gold, with a gold threaded floral pattern that will shine just right in the light.
Kettle's like really excited about this.
Very well, that's what we'll go with for you. Who's next?
I would like to go last just for the.
Okay.
You're-
Dusty's gonna look behind him to see if Aroma's trying to dart in front of him, and then
I
slowly lift his
think
hand.
Roma's actually sitting on the floor with their sketchbook open.
Okay.
Drawing.
I imagine you've kind of made like a slight nest out of the piled up fabrics.
Oh yeah.
I think Rose is trying to get behind your nest. Like you try and get to the back because you're trying to like figure out what you want to do exactly. Rose is trying to avoid this forestall it for as long as possible.
I imagine Barbas is just too polite to interrupt you.
Oh, yeah, no, he's just gonna let this happen.
Okay. So you step forward.
Yes.
Oh, I've dressed torsos before, but you're a little bit more of a challenge. Your kind doesn't tend to wear a lot of clothes, usually clasp, maybe a cape, something subtle to accent yourself or protect from certain types of weather. Is that what we're looking for you?
Yeah, but I also want something to stick out. I mean, Dusty just takes out the loot. It's like, I kinda want to be the showstopper. Or at least draw some attention.
Give him sequence. Aroma just kind of mumbles that out.
Dusty then plays Dusty then plays a little diddle on his, just like a tiny diddle on the loot. Because he's like trying to awkwardly explain it.
I have an idea. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. And they rush off. Take about 10 minutes before they come back. Now in an entirely different outfit. They are now in a suit, but with the same peacock pattern. It's kind of like a conductor's outfit. But like this peacock pattern is like a little bit more muted. And their hair is now kind of done, still tied, but now tied in like a ponytail rather than a bun, as they rush forward with this this glimmering kind of like hide, this like scale hide that kind of glimmers with all kinds of different colors, as they kind of rush over and kind of throw it over your shell and your bagpipes. We'll have to cut it specifically to the holes, but I'm thinking a cape made out of this scaled pattern. Something that will shine, look a little bit different from each angle. Maybe do a hat to go along with it. Something that'll match. What do we think?
Dusty looks at the shine and is like, I'll dig it.
They're kind of, so the scales themselves are, they're actually slightly, like, almost not transparent, but they're basically, their base color seems to be just a muted white. But when the light reflects off them, it's every color of the rainbow. So they're kind of that, that kind of like sequence of where it seems mostly white, but every aspect you're focusing on is always colored.
Okay. Dusty digs it.
Alright, I'll do something with this. I'll have to take some measurements of you, especially for the bagpipe holes. I assume those aren't removable?
Not really, no.
Alright, we'll cut for it. For the hat, what kind of fit are we looking for? Do you want something with a wide brim? Maybe something a little subtler? I could do a bowler hat, perhaps?
Something a little subtle. I kinda want to be able to see over it. I don't want it to block vision.
Okay, so a bowler hat, we'll say. Any preference in color? I could fit it with the same type of scale if you'd like.
Maybe. I don't know. Dusty tries to hold on. Dusty's gonna be like, because now I need to make up info on the spot. It's a color that his dad hates because he's got more of a gripe with his dad than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fashion choices because you hate someone. I approve.
Yes. Yeah.
Out of character.
If there was any color Curb was gonna hate.
That's basically my entire aesthetic right now, bro.
He typically hates bright colors. Specifically, bright colors that do not occur in nature. So, like, things that would be, like, you'd think of as, like, magical. Like a
neons,
pretty
bright,
much.
like, yeah, okay. Dusty wants to go with like a neon purple almost.
Okay, neon purple.
Yeah.
Strange choice, but I can work with it. Okay. Alright, a hat for you and a cape. We'll take the measurements here in a second. Who's next?
Ruz is looking at Aroma.
Still drawing.
Barbas will step forward, seeing that none of them want to go.
And I looks at you with the armor.
Oh, he's not in armor right now.
Oh, are you not? Okay.
No, while he's in town, he's not wearing it.
Okay, that's fair. I will note that for all future incidents that occur in town.
Unless I specifically mention it. But yeah, he'll just be like in his like blacksmithing robes.
That's actually very good to know. I think Ruz will have a conversation with you later.
So, she looks at you. Alright, what are we thinking? What are your limitations? What do you need? What are the essentials? And give me some verbs, some adverbs, some adjectives.
I'm thinking simple yet elegant in a way. Maybe more subtle, but not dull.
Okay. Are there any specific limitations you have for this? Do you need to have anything on underneath it or atop it?
Be preferable if I could wear armor, but I
What
could
kind
wear
of armor do you
chainmail.
wear? Leather?
Well, I wear half plate myself, but
She-
if you can make that work.
They brush off for a second before returning. So, as she hands you a small kind of thing of almost like ointment kind of jar, this is an armor polish. It will both shine up your armor and also change the color of it to match the outfit. Use this before the event specifically, and it will match better. If you use this enough days in a row, it can become permanent, but if you use it just for one day, you can wash it off afterwards. It'll take 3
Yeah.
coats without washing it for it to become permanent.
Alright.
Now, for the armor will be the main aspect of it, but we'll give you an undershirt. So this color, specifically, you wanted something subtler. So this will give it a slightly brassy look. It'll be a little... It won't shine as much as brass does, but it'll be that kind of coppery brass color. Now, for the underneath, if you want something subtle, I'd say we go with a black cloth underneath. And a cape, I'd say, to throw over your shoulders. Not something too long. I'd say something that comes down to about your waist or so. Maybe a little bit lower. How do you feel? How about we give the cape a little bit of pop? So we're going for the coppery color for that armor. What if we go for a more white or maybe a silvery cape?
I could certainly work with that.
And we'll do perhaps a silver cape with a bit of more of that gold thread for a bit of detail work on the side. What kind of patterns would you like for the detailing?
We do maybe a cross stitch.
Okay, no specific imagery you want to include, or?
And he kind of pulls his braid aside. If you could somehow incorporate this here, and he holds up his little bobble. It's almost like a no. Whoa, ooh. He's gonna take out that holy symbol from earlier, actually.
Oh, so not your holy symbol, the holy symbol you were given.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Interesting. I've not seen this symbol
This
before.
Nor have I, but
Can
I
include
like
that
it.
kind of geometric pattern in it a few times, perhaps. Very well, I can work with this. Any other specific requests you have, or is that enough?
I think that's enough. I like where this is going.
Very well. And she looks at Aroma and Ruz, both waiting back.
Ruz is looking at Aroma slightly more panicked.
Which of you would like to go
Aroma's
first?
ready. Aroma's
Aroma?
ready. Okay. So Aroma pulls out a drawing, and it's of them wearing a fitted, cut, fancy corset back vest. If anybody's ever seen a Nova corsetry for men, like that. But with tailcoats that fall down in kind of a cut pattern, almost as if it was like a circus ringmaster thing, but with the tailcoats, but with longer, since it's a corset vest, longer way down, and it's angled, of course. The shoulders flare up at the end and coming out of them are feathers. And the whole thing it goes from this like kind of pale creamy yellow towards a deep dark black at the bottom with red lining, almost as if working with their orange color scheme, a flame turning into dead embers.
Okay.
With the boning of the vest is the same color as the token of ray that they have.
Okay.
Which is the gray signalum or whatever, but Aroma doesn't know that. Or other people. Oh well. And the bottoms of the tailcoats have black feathers, while the shoulders ones are more like white ones. And it has a kind of more official sash in the same color as their current one, which is the color of Sarenway. And then tight leather pants that go down to their ankles, and they have heeled boots, but which has cutouts for their claws. And on up to their neck, from the collar of the shirt, which is kind of a lacy collar, but up to their neck, the top just below their chin, and then long sleeved gloves, and on their tail is a lacy black lace gloves, but on their neck, hands, and tail. And to top it all off is a horned circlet.
Very well. Can I keep this to work off if it'll be easier with a reference?
Of course. Yeah.
Loves that.
Right, that'll be simple enough to make. She looks at you, Rose. And the last one.
Rose is frantically by the door, looking.
Aroma then would like to rustle in their little nest and pull out a black shimmery fabrics, kind of like it's iridescence, like an oil thing, and it's slinky, and Aroma taps out a pattern that's very simple, elegant, strong cut, single jumpsuit, but on the back of it is a dragon.
Yes, I think this would be a nice basis to work off of, but I need something more, something unique, something personal.
Raz?
This is not my arena.
Actually, they're snake, not dragon, on the back of their jumpsuit.
Yes. Okay.
I only know of fashion as either to stand out or to not, and I don't understand like any of this.
What about a mask?
Don't think of it as something you need to understand. We're interpreting your personality into this outfit for you. Simply tell us what's important to you, what matters to you deep down. Give us some verbs, some adjectives, some thoughts that come to you when you think of who you are and what's important to you.
What's important to me is probably not polite to say at this sort of thing.
Who cares about being polite? You never make an impression being polite.
Okay. Rose starts to think a bit. I guess I'd like something that first and foremost is practical and that I can fight in it. Kind of looks at all of these colors. And I guess, if I'm not being polite, something that would be the biggest middle finger to Blackheart.
You're looking to make a statement, then. Alright, I can work off of that.
Oh. Ruz starts to fish something in their bag of holding, and pulls out what looks like a. Dan, I don't think we've ever talked about this piece of item in the game on my character sheet, but I think it was like a prize that Ruz might have, air quote prize that Ruz might have won in a fight. I think it's like it's something that looks almost gorgeous, but is completely blood-stained. I don't know how you want to incorporate that, or if you want to make any alterations.
Item specifically?
It's a blood-stained sash. It's something Ruz has had since the very beginning of the game.
Okay, so this would actually be this sash specifically would have been decorated with the. Let me find the name of the specific god. There we go. And here, it would be decorated with symbols of Shelock. It would be kind of a royal kind of purple and gold sash, but stained with blood and kind of tattered.
It's definitely stained with blood.
This item probably would have been taken from a guard, a high guard.
Okay.
Who was probably wounded in a specific riot that, well, riot might not be the right word, a tantrum, I guess. And found in the jaws of a creature.
I love it.
So that would likely be, as you produce that. This I like. How do you feel about this? If I know one thing about those individuals in Blackheart, they are not a fan of Sen and his Azamar. I will incorporate this and the symbol of Sen in a manner of showing, let's say, a superiority or an indifference to the governance of Blackheart. They're also specifically not a fan of when people point out that their own god is not a fan of them. So I will use some of the national symbols as well as some of the holy symbols, and a kind of implication of them being less than these specific deities. How does that sound? We'll do that as a very bold symbol on the back of maybe a light cloak that you can throw over the outfit.
Ruz gives a nod.
Very well. I will do some sketching later and see what I can come up with. Alright,
that was my slime.
We
didn't even hear it, Vicky.
So.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I heard it.
As she's
it's a good thing you specified.
Now, if we could, just need to take some measurements for all of you. It spends the next probably hour, 2 hours measuring all of you. They are very quick with how they do their measurements. And like they are like turning you around and like repositioning you like faster than you can even like respond to them, like asking a question or taking a measurement, and they're noting it all down very quickly. And with that, as they finish it, they look at all of you. Now, all of you, get out of my shop. I have work to do. Out, out, out!
Ruz leaves.
Kicks you all out of the shop. slams the door closed, flips the sign around to closed.
We didn't pay them.
They didn't even ask for payment.
I'll say you guys would have given them the contact details.
With Huckin, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
with Rachel to get the payment sorted out.
This is gonna
I
be
assumed-
so expensive.
Probably.
Probably
if you get-
hella expensive.
If you guys want the exact details, so Railed
think-
only does custom jobs. Their starting price is 60, and it goes up from there depending on how intricate the item is. The most expensive probably would have been Dust Dews, because the cape was a specifically difficult to procure material. So
Okay,
his probably
so-
normally would have, and this is just for your information, you guys aren't paying this, so you guys don't need to worry about
alright.
the price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your price your price would have probably gone up to around probably around 150, maybe 200 gold.
In total.
Yes. Which obviously you're not paying, but that's for your outfit. And then
Okay.
everyone else's probably would have been somewhere between there and 100 gold.
Gotcha.
Mine's pretty structurally intense.
Yeah, but the materials are not. Yours probably would have been the second most expensive, because the materials they have in abundance for yours. So yours probably would have been close to Dust Dews, a little bit cheaper, probably like 140. To like between like 140, 170.
I think most of that pricing comes from just how intricate it sounds.
Yeah.
I unfortunately forgot most of it, not because of trying, but because a lot of details means my broken brain just loses all of it.
I know.
Oh, I
got
know.
the basic look of what you were going for. I don't know all this. I don't remember all the specific details, but
That's okay. You know, I'll have a drawing done at some point.
oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you'll have drawings for all of these.
Well, I didn't hear all of them because I was busy drawing.
That's true. So with that, what do you guys want to do with the rest of the day?
How
I
late is
need
it right
to
now?
I need to send letters.
It's probably mid to late afternoon.
Just
Daniel
do-
Barbas wants to go to the bar later.
Dusty's in a great mood. He's gonna roam around the streets and start playing.
Okay.
Ruz
Okay,
is in both a great mood and in an anxious mood, because Ruz is basically saying, "I'm going to make a political statement at this summit."
What did
Roma, you were specifically looking for a post office.
Yeah, can we just say that I send them and give you the money, or because I
well,
think there are other role playing aspects
Yeah.
that we want to focus on.
So who are you sending these letters to?
My gang back home.
So back over in Bright Hall, or your gang back in Fire Giant territory?
Bright Hall.
Okay, so you can send those. That is within the coalition, so that would be 5 gold per letter.
And that would be 6 letters then, so 30 gold.
I'll say you can probably persuade them to give you a discount of about 25 if you're sending them all to the same location. So they'll give you 1 letter free for that amount. So we
Okay.
can put it to 25 gold. Because since they're all going to the same exact place, it's not as difficult.
There is one thing I really want to do as Ruz that has only occurred kind of in the middle of the in the clothing shop. There we go. Ruz wants to head back to the magic shop real quickly.
Okay. What specifically do you want to do there?
Ruz wants to commission an item, if that's possible.
Okay, I'll say
If it's affordable.
Well,
is
it's
it a
going to start
specific
as
existent magic item?
Okay, let me just describe to you how Ruz enters the how Ruz describes the item that they
I was
want
gonna
created.
say, there's a couple of things we wanted to try to get done. So if we want to make this quick, you
Yeah.
can message me about this post game and tell me what you're looking for, and plus that way you can keep it a secret and it'll be a surprise.
How about I just describe it to you in a message right now, just what Ruz describes this item as?
Sure. And then I'll get back to you with details on that, because that might take a little bit of time for me to figure out what that'll take. But so Rose goes off to do that.
And then goes back to the bar.
Okay.
You see where this is going.
Yeah. I'll get back to you on that. I got some ideas. But actually, no, I know what it would be. This actually wouldn't be too difficult because it's an existing item. I just need to look up what the price would be.
Oh no.
I think you probably know about this item, but I'll get back to you later.
Feel free to message me later. Out of character, I'm curious. In character, this is now a new goal for my character.
But so, assuming if you guys want to just kind of relax for the rest of the day, if there's anything specific you want to do, let me know. Do you guys want to go over just any improvements you want to, how you want to spend any guild silver you have, any interviews you want to do, and what mission you want to take next?
I wanted us to actually like sit and talk at the bar because we haven't all had like a real roleplay interconnection thing.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
That's kind of what I was leading to.
Yeah. Dusty's just out in the streets playing. He'll probably meet him in the bar later, but that's what Dusty's doing.
I'd say the if you just want a general idea of what missions we'd like to take, I think
I know one thing that Rose would want to do in game, and that's the. I mean, out of game, I wanted to do it for out of game reasons, but in game, Rose does have a reason too. It's the Bloodstone, because Rose in fact did have a some wine sent after that last mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's the mission you guys are interested in, I actually.
What's the one that leads us to the thing that you need to do before we can do
the one shot?
thing?
That is the Bloodstone mansion, which I also.
Okay. All right.
I also had an idea you guys wanted to do that one anyways.
At the very least, Ruz wanted to do that one because remember the whole entire getting a message from that Blackheart after the attempt on Dylan's mother?
Yes.
The part of the gift basket of that was some wine from Bloodstone. So.
Yep, Bloodstone wine.
What does Dusty have to say?
Dusty's probably not with you guys. Dusty probably doesn't really care.
Well, this is above game figuring out what mission you guys want to do.
Yeah, I would say Barbas would either be down for Bloodstone or the Sundered Spire.
Yeah. I am. Sorry, I am indifferent.
Okay.
Okay. If we want to keep things above game just to move things on a little bit more, I would like to advocate guild quarters, just so that we can have the one of the new members to at least have a room in our place, just for.
That would be nice rather than trying to stiff the dwarves from all their gold because of my background.
Now, so you guys will need to hire a
ignore that role.
But if you don't want to, your playing isn't too bad while you're wandering around. If you guys don't want to do the interviews today, we can either do it next session just before you guys leave on the mission, or after you guys get back from the mission.
I'd be down for that.
Second one.
Yeah.
Are you guys okay with the guild quarters then?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right.
Sure.
All right, great. We are now down by a quarter of our guild silver because we have one thing, and I haven't realized just how much guild silver we've accumulated because we now have 3,100. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, you got a good amount.
We may want to consider some other stuff just to make.
And Aurelio will also appear the next day, which we'll do that next session, to go over the details of where that will be built and how it's going to be laid out and stuff.
Okay.
So that will happen before you guys leave, and then you can either do the interviews before or after the mission. But yeah, so you guys all return. Dusty returns probably an hour later than the rest of you to the bar.
And I'm assuming Asher served us.
Yeah, Asher, and actually, this might be significant to Aroma. There is, their cook actually comes out serving soups. Their cook is a small emerald kobold named Lasso.
Roma is uncharacteristically avoiding contact with them. Eye contact. And very quiet.
They pop up over kind of like the back of it to like push like a big pot of soup over for Asher to serve you guys.
So, you guys haven't told the entirety of your story since we last met. What happened?
Someone died.
No, I'm pretty sure Dusty told him last time.
Well, the details.
Oh.
We didn't really have too much time. Where you found this, and he takes out the holy symbol again.
Oh, that.
I'll be right back. I gotta go grab something. You guys roleplay among yourself.
When we were on the run from
Marshall.
Are you sure his name's Marshall?
Yes. At least that's the name that we've been given.
Out of character. I'm pretty sure that's the name given. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong.
That is the same.
That is the name that we know him by, so we have no other reason to think.
Barbas seems to know him by a different name, but he is also not sure why.
Yeah.
He even knows him, period.
Basically, we encountered some scary spiders and Drider, and when we Drider, yep, it's not a pleasant place to be at. But long story short is after that, we found our way out, and we were in some mysterious ruins, and we had to solve a puzzle having to do with the gods themselves.
There was a something of a inner sanctum to a. I think it's a specific deity of that symbol.
And Kettle helped.
Yes, Kettle helped. But yeah, we're not quite sure about that one, but
yeah.
Either way, it was some mysterious ruins that I tell you what, we wipe out the entirety of that cult and make them relocate, and I wouldn't mind taking you there, but
I honestly would like to go there, even with them. Yeah. I've told you I have a bit of a weird history. I'm still forming the pieces slowly, and this is somehow connected.
But, like, the problem is we have an entire cult that wants us dead.
I understand that.
Well...
Only one?
Technically two. Well...
That sounds better.
Well, maybe three. Although, I don't think the third one's something you all need to worry about.
Wait, there are three?
You all, as in referring to not us, but you.
Mm-hmm.
They're called the Want You Dead Rubs?
Pretty sure. Also, looking right at you, damn it. My brain is now starting to leak out of my, out of the brow. Welcome back, Dan.
Me?
Yes.
Shoot. Barbas. There we go. Names are weird right now. My brain's not working right. Okay. Looking at Barbas, Rusden says, by the way, you may want to wear your armor in the city.
In this city? I don't like the implications, but okay.
Da da da.
Anyway, we
Yes.
shared a little bit, and I feel a little bad because you're all good friends to me at this point. We've all shared some good fights, some good laughs, and he holds up his drink and just kind of gestures to it, takes a swig. So, and he puts it down. And I'm going to share with you my plans. And he takes out a small little book. I don't know if you're familiar with this one, and he kind of pushes it over the Ruz. Just a small little, almost like a folktale.
Russ picks it up and begins to read it. Very almost greedy-like.
Well, it's specifically bookmarked to a page talking about a creature. The story itself talking about a creature kind of chained up and bound in black signalum. The interesting thing that I found, I've been trying to figure out how I make armor out of this. And he's kind of looking about the room to see if anyone's crying. In a roll. Perception.
Russ is also going to
Shit.
look around too.
Wait.
Because
Please do better.
that's the wrong row. Excuse me a second.
Oh, damn it.
I was trying to I was trying to look around with my sturdiness.
Nobody seems to be paying attention to you.
I technically roll better than Barbas. By technicality.
All these stories, they tell that Signalum the Black Signalum is very powerful for sapping the life force from those bound by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they all tell of the creature escaping.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, say that again?
A
Oh,
creature
yeah.
escaping from Black Signal.
Yes.
Hmm.
Hence, the armor that you brought me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming something was wearing this.
Yes. Out
Now-
of character, I forget the name of what the exact name of that thing was called, but
It was a plate
Uh,
mail horror.
plate mail horror. Thank you very much.
What is
Now-
the creature name?
If I could, I think of the Signalum more like a wild animal of sorts. A wolf, we'll say. The wolf is vicious. It takes what it wants. It fights. But if we were to train it, domesticate it, help it grow, we could direct it, in a sense. Command it.
You're talking about using Black Signalum as you would with a creature.
Almost. Obviously, it's not really a living thing, but if we were to feed it, kind of divert its aim,
That?
I could make plate mail from it, wear it at will, and it would be very useful to us.
Ruz
I
is looking a
Don't
bit
have a name
confused.
just yet.
Ruz is looking a bit confused at your at how you're like describing this. So wait, we've established it's not a living thing, but you're talking about it as if it is.
It's a metaphor. Again, this is all just on paper. This has never been done. But if it works, this could be revolutionary. Don't you think?
Mm.
Worth a try? And I think you have plenty of Signalum, and me have plenty of Signalum to make this work. It's just finding that missing piece. Takes another swig.
Rumble would like to do an insight check on this.
Sure.
I don't think Ruz is going to insight check because Ruz is confused by the metaphor usage. Because this feels
really
very
intense and creepy.
yeah.
Barbas, you can feel free to roll either deception or persuasion, depending on if you're being truthful. You can feel free to whisper the roll.
Just for the sake of. Yeah, hang on. 20. I am going to whisper the roll just so that I'm not saying exactly what it is.
I love
it. But I will also whisper it. I'll message you, Dan, what it is.
Okay. Okay.
Spelled that wrong, but whatever.
Well, they have relatively high insight.
Yep.
I'd say, with that, they more or less get the truth out of you.
As far as we know.
So, to whatever extent you feel the truthful vibe comes across, you can reveal.
So, Barbas he's more so speaking as if he's very, very curious. He's experimenting with a material he's never been able to work with until you guys brought it to him, or they did, so he's excited. But he doesn't want to make it too obvious, where he's giving away this almost like a secret to everyone in the room.
Okay.
Which is why he's talking like weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like he's talking to you about this new invention he has, but he doesn't have the copyright down yet, so...
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. It might be wrong too, but I mean, we don't know. All right. Ruz is nodding with some interest. I'm fairly curious on observing this, because this is something I've never had a chance to learn about.
No one has. That's the beauty of it. This would be brand new.
Ruz is smirking and is just like, this is the best day ever.
I will say, also, if any of you are curious who's in the bar, Cassius is there in the same position he always is. Disk is not here today, but Cyril and Alder have both returned from wherever they were.
Oh.
So if any of you had business you wanted with either of them, you can feel free to approach them. They're just kind of drinking off on their own.
What? Roma ordered a glass of juice.
Okay. Do you specify what kind of juice?
Well, they don't know the kind of fruits that are around here.
In this case, it probably... You're not too far from Bloodstone, so probably would have been grape juice. Would be the freshest.
Grape juice, then.
Grape juice.
Get some grape juice. It's not bad.
Kettle is drinking milk even though cats are lactose intolerant.
Yeah, but you see him drinking Looney Tunes, so it's fine.
I base all my decisions off of what I see in Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And bunnies definitely love carrots.
Mm-hmm.
And have huge tits. That's what Face Jam.
But only in one version of the movie.
Yeah, only in one movie.
Yeah. And only very specifically the blonde bunnies. The gray-haired bunnies, they don't got tits.
Unless they're dressed up like a Viking.
It's true. They wear that heavy boob armor.
Everyone knows boob armor is the safest type of armor.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to the people, or are we still gonna?
Ruz,
That wasn't like a you guys need to. You can keep role playing this to yourselves if you want. I was just letting you know in case any of you wanted to talk to them.
Well, Zashi's gonna kind of fill everyone in on the situation with his family up in Ironville.
Yeah, actually, I was just about to ask about that.
Yeah.
If you guys can write letters, basically. Okay.
He would have questioned.
Because last time when they mentioned Ironville, Dusty was like, "Oh no."
Yeah. So, forgive me, but I'm not aware of any turtles that practice your craft.
Yeah. About that. I might have been born with a lot of muscle and all that, but it's not really the path I wanted to take. I took an interest in magic and then instruments and playing and all of that, and I was kind of, in the end, just resented from the Ironville Kingdom for doing what I do. So they're probably not gonna like me. I'm basically just the disappointment in my family because of it. Because my pops was like, "You were born with the muscle, but you didn't use it. You decided to use magic instead, and that means you're weak. And I don't want to have a weakling for a son." That's basically what he said.
I don't like your dad. We don't like your dad.
Yeah.
I think therapy would be a good idea for this group.
I mean, yeah, sure, Pops is a jerk, but wait until you meet Bagel. He's the cutest little turtle. Well, little in retrospect. Small compared to us, but he's
Raz, were you trying to say something?
I was actually going to ask where you learned magic from, Dusty.
I kinda...
It would have been specifically, you would have learned music, and magic happened to naturally come from your music.
Yeah.
You would have almost learned it by accident.
And, I mean, it was a mistake. I wouldn't say it was a mistake. My father said it was a mistake, but it wasn't intentional at first. I guess I learned to channel magic through my instruments. And it feels like it was never something I really studied. It was more something that just almost came naturally with playing my instruments.
Fascinating.
A gift.
So you had a garage band?
What's a garage? But
maybe it's a thing only in Spin.
It's a stable band.
A stable band. That seems very disruptive to the horses and livestock in the stables. They might not like it, but long story short, I kind of became the laughing stock of the Ironville Kingdom because I do what I do. So it's not really my home, and I feel like until I can prove them wrong, I shouldn't pretend like anywhere else is my home.
They don't want you. They don't need you.
I like to think this is your home, but that's just my opinion.
Long story short, if they see you and me, they're gonna give me and you guys dirty looks. But that might work in our favor because that means they'll be underestimating us. I guess. There's a few people that might try and pick a fight, but I don't really think with what our task is we should be brawling around the streets willy-nilly.
Rose seems to think for a moment. I think dirty looks is an improvement over previous situations.
Yeah, I'd take him, Dusty. You're a pretty stand-up guy.
Thanks.
If they can't see what you have to offer, then
Kettle would train you.
they're just terrible at
for
judge.
one punch.
Wait, what did Kettle say? I missed what Kettle
Kettle
said.
would trade you in for one corn chip.
Corn chip? Okay. But yeah, long story short, my pops is kind of a jerk, but
the others, I guess, Mom kind of understood, but she was pretty quiet. I don't know what her real, I don't know what her true feelings are. She kind of just told me to go my own way and left it at that. I don't think she was kicking me out like my pops, but she clearly knew that my place was not in that home, or house anymore.
I can drink to that. And he does.
Ruz takes a sip of. I assume it's grape juice.
Very fermented grape juice.
Yeah.
If it's
You'll
fermented.
all be drinking grape juice at some stage in its life.
Yeah.
You know who I want to know a bit more about? And he kind of turns to Kettle.
Kettle's just sipping milk, like not even paying attention.
Are you sipping or lapping?
Yes.
Both.
It's a messy combination.
She's lapping the straw.
Just cramming her face and like she doesn't even have it in a cup. It's a bowl of milk.
There's a straw, but it's like laying next to the bowl, so like I'm clearly not using it, but
It's stuck in
they
her
definitely wanted me to.
Because I can look around this table, and he's starting to slur a bit. And I get you, Dustu. And I kind of get you, Aroma. And
Do you?
we'll get to you, Ruz.
Ruz tilts the head.
Kettle, you are an enigma to me.
And how drunk is Barbies?
He's getting there.
Okay.
How many
had?
drinks is he in?
Roll a
I'd
constitution
say he's.
save.
Yeah, let's do
Let's
that.
figure it out.
Unfortunately,
Is
Okay.
11.
You're pretty drunk.
He's a lightweight.
Yeah.
Like
The real question is how many drinks is
You
Ian.
sweet summer child.
Well, he's definitely been drinking quite a bit.
Has he just been like slightly
Kettle,
buzzed all
you've not
day?
been drinking. Your milk isn't alcoholic.
Oh, this isn't Zelda milk?
No.
Dusty's gonna
What
go
if
to
it's
the
the milk that's not
counter and get
actually
it.
milk?
Is this a bar or is this like a tavern where I can
Kettle's
get
just
some-
getting very gassy.
What if
from
it
lack
was
of
just,
This is
alcohol.
your guild.
Oh yeah, I don't quite know all the details of my guild hall. I think I was here like once or twice.
So
And-
basically, I can actually
Yeah.
show you guys the kind of general layout.
Yeah.
Because I have
Dusty wants-
this for when we're gonna discuss where things are
Dusty
getting
wanted to
positioned.
hire the portal bodyguard. That's all I know.
So, tavern comes in. There's actually two doors over here, and then between the two doors, like two doors with a space between them, and in that space between the two doors is the mission posting, and then there's a step down into the tavern itself, and bar over here, a bunch of tables over here. And a couple more tables kind of lifted up beneath where these rooms are. And then back and in the kitchen. So you guys are probably like at a table up in this section.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's still kind of pointing.
Pointing at Kettle.
Yeah. He's like... kind of just staring intently.
Hi.
What's your deal, Kettle?
Kettle is kettle.
Yeah,
That sounds like a very reductive
but-
question.
But what define Kettle?
Tabaxi druid. Allergic to everything, including self.
Where are you from?
Kettle likes shiny things.
That wasn't
He kind of thinks for a moment. It's like, no, that is not the question I asked.
Aroma wants to do an insight check.
Alright, Kettle, same deal. You can do a deception or persuasion. depending on if you're trying to hide something or be open.
Kettle's not trying to hide anything. She just doesn't understand the question.
Okay,
So
persuasion.
Keto didn't deliberately ignore the question?
No, she thought she answered it.
Where are you
Keto,
from?
what's
I like
my
shiny
Keto?
things.
What is the name of the land where you were before this place?
Oh, you know, it's a city. It is half mechanical. Kettle does not like that half. And then the other half has trees and other things that Kettle is allergic to, but Kettle likes that half a lot.
Has Keto mentioned the name of the place? Out of character, I know which place it is, but
We've been there.
Oh, in character,
We
I know
have
what
been
she's
there.
talking
You
about.
know Rose, because
Okay.
they mentioned that that's where they're from when you guys went.
okay. I wanted to double check. It felt like something that Ruz would know. I just didn't want to metagame.
We met my master.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Short Oak.
Short Oak.
He's also a good drinking buddy.
That I know you've mentioned.
You guys do a lot of drinking.
You're not wrong.
Ruz does
But-
not make it into a habit.
You
Getting back on
really
track.
like water that much?
Actually.
Yeah,
Ruz is going to
very specific water, and he takes another just swig of his drink.
fire water. Ruz kind of
Hey.
kind of quirks an eyebrow. Sprinlocks is the name, Kettle.
Yes,
And-
that is the name.
Oh my god! I'm from Sprinlock. What? Really?
You're from Springlock?
Yeah.
Oh,
How?
then you know my master Shoto.
Do I actually know him?
Yeah, you would know his name.
Okay.
He's basically like how Swiftpaw is the head artificer of that side of the city. Short Oak is the head of the druids on the other side. So they're
Oh,
two
okay.
political heads of the city.
Why don't I have him jotted down?
Well, it might have not specifically pertained to your interests. It's just something you would know about.
Fair.
Like how
alright.
everyone knows the president of the United States, even if you live in Uruguay.
Yeah, and yeah, so you know him, and you know Canton Swiftpaw would be the head artificer.
I guess I kind of know him. I know about him. I don't think I've ever met him.
He is a good drinking buddy.
Yeah.
He.
I was on the other
he's like
side.
a
of
dad I always
city.
wanted.
My family's from the part you don't like.
Okay, it's not your fault.
I guess it's not.
Why don't you like that part?
Kettle is not very fond of the artificers.
Hmm?
We are not friends.
I understood. I was just curious if you wish to elaborate.
We are not friends.
Ruz nods, taking that as a signal cue of not comfortable with going in that line of conversation. Whether or not that is the case, that is the way Ruz is going to treat it as.
Did you? Oh no, you wouldn't. No. Oh, and he's very clearly drunk at this point. He's having trouble just making sentences.
Can Ruz maybe try and actually no, Ruz won't. I was thinking maybe Ruz would do sleight of hand, but no. This is if someone wants to get drunk, that's their business.
Is he okay? Is he sick? Did somebody poison him?
Oh no, this is this is something I do with my
You poison yourself?
no, I guess.
Technically, everybody does that at the bar.
I've been trying to gain the tolerance. So
Wait, we're poisoning
the
ourselves?
family.
At some point, Jane.
Aroma throws their drink across the room.
Oh.
At some point, what?
I was gonna say, at some point, Jane would have walked by and placed a couple of things of water at your table. And be like, he'll thank you in the morning if you get him to drink some of this.
Rez nods. And passes some of the water in front of Barbas.
And she goes to clean up the grape juice that you spilled.
Aroma is like rubbed her tongue out, like trying to wipe it off her tongue.
Aroma. Hold on. Let me explain this to you. You don't need to do that. Okay? You don't need to do that. Alcohol.
That drink's fine.
Yeah. So alcohol for us, it's not lethal poison, but basically what it does is, the reason why it makes us feel warm and fuzzy inside is because, one, that's just the effect of the alcohol, but also alcohol technically dehydrates us. It has the opposite of what water would do, you know? It's more so to loosen up and have a good time. In high amounts, it's poisonous, but in small amounts, not really.
Oh, it's
basically
like
we drink it to have a good time, and he doesn't even notice that he has water now and holds it up and takes a swig as if it was a drink.
What did Aroma say?
Weird. Your equivalent probably would have been more cactus juice.
Yes.
Cactus juice.
Well, that's
juice.
Cactus juice.
I was just about to say that'll quench you though. It won't dehydrate you.
It's the quenches.
No, but
nothing's quench you.
Up.
Yeah, well, me and my family would drink this stuff all the time, and this is what we do, just for fun, you know. Lay off a good day's work, and he'll take another
sip of
swig
the water.
Of his water.
Rose kind of just nods. I believe everyone drinks that.
Well, I hope so. They want to have a good time.
Unless you're fire. Rose kind of thinks for a moment.
I don't think fires like to drink anything, Raz.
Fires like to drink tar and oil.
I'm siding with Kettle here. They don't have mouths. They can't drink.
They do have an appetite.
Fire Genasi actually live nearby where Aroma's from.
Yeah.
I would have met a couple of fires.
Yeah. Aroma's definitely seen fire drink. Do they drink water?
Yeah, they drink water.
Yeah, well, they drink it. They don't, like, pour it on them. Plus, fire that grows really well in, like, tar and oil, and metaphysically, you could say that it's drinking it.
I'll drink that, and he'll take another
Take
swig.
another sip of water. Rose is nodding. But, yeah, no.
I think I'm starting to get way too used to the taste. This does not...
Just
what are we
keep
talking
drinking.
about?
Wouldn't that mean your tolerance is going up?
I like how you think. I'll drink that.
Looking to Aroma, Rose is going to say, some individuals can handle their poison or liquor, as it's called.
Liquor up there, Lilo.
God damn it.
Are you trying to say something to me, Rose?
No. Just trying to say something to Aroma.
Oh, okay.
Rose shakes their head. I was talking about myself.
Oh. Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, you can drink this. And he slides over another glass of water. Yeah, that one's on me.
As I was saying, my kind are mostly resistant to it, but I don't handle it well.
Actually, your kind for the most part are immune to it.
Exactly.
That's how Rachel kicked your guys' ass at the drinking contest.
Yep.
Mm.
I feel like that technically there should be a limitation on that, but
I mean, there is a limitation. She does eventually get drunk, but she's
I
not
feel-
nearly
I feel-
as fast as anyone else does.
I feel like someone's stomach is gonna fill up by the time that happens, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll drink this as soon as there's space for it.
I think this drink is starting to affect me. Legolas versus Gimli.
Yes.
Getting back on track. Kind of, sort of.
Kettle will drink to that.
Oh, Roz,
Yes.
Roz,
Mhm.
getting back to you. I said I'd get back to you.
Ruz lets out a sigh and takes a sip of the water.
Where,
Okay, well then,
where are you from, Roz?
That's what we were gonna say. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Ruz kind of quirks an eyebrow. I feel like I've said this before.
You. I think
Not to
I've said
us.
this. I'm having trouble remembering things. You're gonna have to say it again.
Blackheart.
Oh, that place you really don't like. I don't like the
What
Myra.
is Blackheart? What is
Ruz
Blackheart?
looks to Aroma. You really don't know.
Does Roma really not know?
Well, depends. Depends.
Because they kind of just went from their isolated area to the
To Bright Hall.
Bright Hall.
So there is a temple to Shelock in Bright Hall, so it's not impossible that you would have heard of Blackheart. As most worshippers of the temple, most worshippers of Shelock who are not natives of Blackheart really don't like people from Blackheart. And most worshippers of Sen don't like people from Blackheart either, so it's not impossible you could have heard of it. I'll leave it up to you.
Can I roll a history check?
Sure. It's a history check with disadvantage. No clue. No clue.
Oh. Well,
That's
we
perfect
were kind of isolated for a long time, and then we're on our own for a while, and then we were studying Bright Hall, and we had a lot to learn in a short time. We weren't there for like so
Out
long,
of character,
2 years,
this is the
and then-
place that houses all the high elves, right? For the most
No.
part. Oh,
No,
no?
that's Sovale.
Okay.
Blackheart,
Yeah, Soulvale is a country, Blackheart is a coalition.
it
Sorry.
So,
Ruz is
the world is big, and we're a little kobold.
oh, that's a lot to unpack.
Well,
I don't.
just you don't
You
have to
don't
unpack
have
it
to
all.
tell. You don't have.
I know you like to keep your secrets, Ruz. I've opened up to you.
Ruz is
And-
going to smirk at that.
Um,
I will be happy to tell you some more details later,
Okay.
but I
Take
would
your
rather
time.
not ruin today's enjoyment. This is a good day. I don't get
I'm almost
many of
gonna climb up
Just
and
a-
give them a hug.
Bruz actually gives Roma a little pat on the back. It's that kind of like, I'm not used to this form of contact. I'm still learning it. It's not code so much as awkward.
He's taking another little sip this time, kind of tasting it.
But I will say, Blackheart is a place that leaves very few people without some form of scar.
Well, I'm here for you, buddy.
Thumbs up.
You see, actually, Cassius in the corner, actually kind of overhearing this conversation, doesn't approach, but Ruz stands up to you, kind of gives you a nod of understanding.
Ruz returns the nod.
And also kind of like an acceptance of, like, if you need someone else who knows exactly what you've been through, I'm here. Like, you get the vibe. He's like, if you need someone to bail you out of here and tell about their experience, he's willing to.
Ruz gives us a very small smile, but kind of like just turns to the rest of the group. That's as much as I'm going to say on the matter. You can tell me. I can tell you about Blackheart tomorrow.
Okay. I'll remember that. He won't remember that.
I was just thinking that. I feel like this is like a Telltale game or something.
This is like the best time to ask anything about Burbis.
I can tell you details about Highgate, though.
It's Highgate.
It's where I learned how to do... It's where I learned how to refine my ability to fight, and how I picked up magic to an extent.
Place with a very tall gate.
That's just high.
A very baked gate, if you will.
See, I thought it just got into my stash.
Damn gate got to the stash.
Highgate is a city where all the guards are required to be absolutely stoned while manning the gate.
And it's actually not like a gate. It's a gate. Okay.
Hey!
I get it.
Okay.
I get it, but I can't think of a drunk Barbas pun to add to it, so...
Kettle just, like, flicks her wrist in that hey style.
I mean, Aroma didn't say that.
Well, she still does it, but with no context or explanation.
Kettle has just been hallucinating this conversation of ours.
Okay.
Kettle needs to lay off the milk.
Ruz is actually going to kind of lean forward a little bit toward Aroma.
They're on your lap.
Oh, in that case, no. Aroma is going. Ruz is going to look down at Aroma and say, "Maybe Barbas has you figured out, but I'm still curious. You said you came from so."
I mean, I kind of get you. You're. Huh?
Tell us. What do you think about us?
Yeah. Well, you're a bit of a free spirit. You seem to find enjoyment in everything. I know you've been around Bright Hall. You have a lot of tattoos. You like drawing. Kobold, you can fight, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you definitely have us figured out. That's
Okay.
a story.
That. I'm so smart, guys.
Now that we have his rendition, Russ kind of looks at Barbas.
He gives you the same thumbs up you gave him a little while ago.
How about you give us yours? You mentioned you didn't know about Blackguard. I'm curious. Is it? You said you were from Bright Hall. What did you? Barbara said Bright Hall. Were you from there proper or just nearby?
Not that nearby. How far is the thing from Bright Hall?
Well, it'd be several thousand miles.
It's not even close.
It's
Not
like,
that close.
You'd be like, actually, honestly, looking at this, you'd be like 3 or 4 states away. And like big states, like Nebraska states.
So, like, right next door.
Oof. That's a long distance.
Yeah, it's not small.
Did Aroma mention they were from Giant Country?
Nope.
Okay, so we are completely ignorant of that fact.
Yep.
Good to know.
Barbas is like with a full understanding. Maybe you're not from Bright Hall, but he's pretty sure you're from at least around that area. Just based on the context clues, and I think you mentioned Bright Hall at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were at Bright Hall for some time training with the Temple of, it's Serenray, Danny? No, Serenray is a different god.
Yep.
Rayleigh.
Rayleigh.
Similar. There's a lease, though.
You made the same twist earlier. I didn't call you on it, but yeah, it's Rayleigh.
Rayleigh.
Sometimes pronounced Rayleigh.
Rayleigh. With our gang, and they're really cool. We were there for some years, and they helped us learn to fight the way we do, and with the tattoos, which is really cool. Oh my gosh, that training was really cool because we went up to a mountain and we picked out each other's tattoos, and we sat around a fire, and like we had special herbs and ink that we made, and did the tattoos on them, and oh my god, it hurt. It hurt so much, but afterwards it imbues yourself with just this greater sense of connection to possibility. Like, and Aroma pulls up their pant leg and pulls out the bird and has it flying around in circles.
Yeah, as Barbara see the first time you seeing it, you see a tattoo of a bird on their leg, and it seems to almost peel off their skin and grow and form into a physical illusion of a bird that begins to fly.
Whoa. Maybe I need to stop drinking. Is that? Are you doing that? Are you actually? Is there actually a bird like flying? Oh.
It
Oh my
lands
God.
on your shoulder and you can't feel it.
Guys, it's on me.
It's like
Yeah.
we can
It notably
send
does
out
actually make
essence.
sound while it flies. 'Cause
Yeah, so it sounds real, right?
Yeah, it sounds real. It besides touch, it has all of the main senses there.
So it smells real.
You could make it smell. It's major image. It just It's major image, but limited to 5x5.
Wow.
I'm assuming Duster's kind of just eating his stew right now.
Yeah.
Barbas will like try to take a carrot out of it to feed the bird.
Oh no, Dusty got
He's
kidnapped
just-
months ago.
Oh,
He's
Wait,
been dead
Dusty
for
what?
hours.
Oh yeah. It's kind of weird because he was playing his bagpipes to signal you guys, but you just weren't listening.
Yeah.
Dusty kind of
Very
Oh, you
smacks.
joined us.
Dusty kind of smacks your finger away and be like, "If you want to feed the bird, here's a ration, buddy."
Thank you. Here.
Just
Yeah, he
falls
kinda-
through onto your shoulder.
Yeah, he takes another little bit and he tries to feed it to the bird.
Aruma has it mimic eating.
And he lets go of the bit of ration. It just kind of falls. Like,
It's still mimicking eating the food that's not there.
What's-
Hi, Evelyn.
what's its name? Did you name it? Does it have a name?
It does. Hold on, let me pull up the notes.
Around
Vesesteep.
Oh.
Around
Hello.
this
He's gonna
time-
try and like rub its head.
As you
Yeah.
guys are playing with the bird, patrons are beginning to leave. Asher is cleaning up for the day. Vincent actually will probably approach. He goes, "Oi, boss, I'm gonna lock up for the day. Am I locking these two in with you?" Yeah, pointing to Aroma and Barbas, like, "I'm locking the door. Are they leaving or staying?"
Oh, they can stay. They're kind of with us now.
Right? We're
Yeah,
Why?
where are you gonna sleep?
I mean, I could sleep on the floor if you want, but I should probably go in the bed tonight. Oh my god.
Is there an inn around?
There is not an inn. All of the taverns and inns are all guilds specifically.
Aroma, you can take Kettle's bed. Kettle can sleep on bar.
But Kettle,
I looked at
Roma
Asher
should
at
just
that.
sleep on you. That that's not fair.
Okay, hold on.
They're not hitting on you.
Rose looks
You're
to
curled
Al-
up with them in bed.
Rose is like gives a glance, but then looks immediately to Aroma, kind of a little bit with a look of shock that can't be.
Roma's literally
hidden.
sitting in your lap, kicking their legs like a child.
I'm pretty sure Aroma also slept on Dusty's shell at one point.
Yes.
Oh.
I
So
feel
did
like that's a
Kettle.
bit. I feel like that's a little different.
So did Kettle.
True.
It wasn't just
Yes.
Aroma. It was.
Aroma's
That's at least
on
been
Kettle
normalized.
before.
Yeah.
Aroma is skeet seeking. They're a reptile.
Yes.
This is true.
This is true, and Kettle is made of fur, even if it's patchy.
Work,
All right,
find a potion or something to help that.
Well, I'm gonna go for the night, guys. So
Alrighty.
Where are
thank you for
you
the
going?
drinks.
Do you
I
have a
have-
place to sleep?
Yeah, I met some very nice folks, and they're willing to accommodate me as long as I give them money. For now,
Well, we'll see to you and Aroma. Perhaps staying here at some point. We do have a spare room, but
can
Rose kind of gets a little glum.
But
We'll have
insight.
to.
Sure.
I'm not. Yeah, just roll.
Where is it?
Barbas does not pick up on this at all, so he will not roll.
It seems pretty obvious contextually, knowing that this group is down a member and having been there when that happened. Whose room that member was.
Right. I literally forgot that.
Yep, that's okay.
Well, if there is a spare room in a room that's going to sleep with whoever has body warmth, then that's enough.
Right, there's just one thing. We need to, out of character, the room needs to be cleared.
I mean, it still has a bed.
Darla never really put anything in his room. He kinda
Oh,
misses the
really?
bed. Yeah, no, he never listed anything that he added to his room or decorated or kept in it.
I don't think Rose did either, but
Yeah.
that's because I don't know if Rose would know what to decorate the room with.
To be fair, Kettle hasn't either.
Kettle! Out of character, of course.
What did Kettle not do?
You
Decorate
haven't
your room.
decorated your room with baubles. Baubles and trinkets. You need to put all the shinies in your room.
Oh yeah, Kettle should do that.
But with that, with all of you retiring to your presumed accommodations for the night, I think we can end the session there.
Actually, there is one thing I want to do real quickly, if that's
Sure.
feasible. If you want to end, though, we can. This is something.
It's getting a
we can
little
do
bit
later.
late. If it's something quick, we can do.
I just want to pick Asher's brain about. Asher's the guy behind the bar, right?
Yep.
Sorry,
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yes, that is Asher. Asher Oldfield.
Right. Right. Sorry. Rose wants to ask him a bit about Bloodstone, if that's feasible. How much he knows about it.
Let's save that for next session, because that might go into a little bit. And it's almost 9 o'clock now, so.
True, and also this gives
Yeah,
you.
I gotta open in the morning.
Yeah.
This also gives you time to maybe think about how much details you want us to maybe know coming in.
Yeah.
Woo!
Plus, he's wrapping up. He's closing up the bar now, so it's probably something you'd ask him in the morning, anyways.
A lie in the morning.
But we will stop the recording there.